Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Beware the Board. This is a special episode. We're joined by a guest. A guest.
Is it me?
Yeah, Ben's the guest. Hi, everybody. This is Bob, and you just heard Ben. But we also have...
Oh, is this where I introduce myself?
Yeah.
I'm Abby. I'm Bob and Ben's supervisor at work.
You might have heard her last week.
Last week when
in
we
our
watched...
actual episode.
If you're cool and listened.
Nice. We watched what? How you said Poughkeepsie?
The Poughkeepsie tapes.
Poughkeepsie?
We don't need to say the name.
We watched a movie about some tapes. That's all I have on the subject. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
It was about a blockbuster.
Yeah, a blockbuster that
So
no one should have seen.
today we're watching another movie.
We're watching a different movie. It's not a normal board episode. This is a special episode that Ben has carefully curated for Abby.
I'm gonna be honest. I just wanted to watch this movie. So
Well, I was trying to build it up, Ben. You didn't have to fucking ruin the illusion.
well, I asked like, hey, what are
I
you
felt
okay
so
with
special.
seeing?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I think she'll like the movie.
I hope
Or
so.
I
not
hope she
like
likes it
it.
more than the last one.
Yeah.
I think it'll be an interesting experience.
I'm realizing our track record with guests has been, they just like, well, at least this wasn't like Ashley. Ashley hated the movies.
Yeah.
Just because she was bored.
Yeah, Abby just had a terrible time.
See, but that's good.
And
that's
then we
at
had-
least the time.
Then when we got Penn Station, they fucked
It
up
was
her
a
order.
time.
She's having a horrible day.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Abby.
So maybe this will seal the deal.
Listen, I've slept 7 hours over the past 2 days. So
Awesome.
I'm here.
Chilling.
Chilling.
Grilling,
And grilling.
maybe
Ooh.
killing.
No killing.
No.
Don't kill anybody.
I already talked
Please-
about that. I said
please
I
no.
am not and never will be a serial killer.
That's true. We have that
Because
on
I
recording.
would suck at it.
Really? You think so?
Oh, I don't have the patience for it.
That's fair. Neither do I.
I don't have the patience. I don't have the motivation. I'm so fucking lazy.
Do you have
Like, I would be the
Nice.
worst serial killer ever.
do you
I
have
would
the
get
upper
caught.
body strength though?
No.
Oh.
See, Trent
No
could
upper
be a
body
serial
strength.
killer if he really tried.
No.
You don't think so?
Trent doesn't believe in guns.
That's fair. Trent doesn't believe in guns. You're right. I hadn't thought about that. He could-
So?
Yeah, I don't know.
That does not
The
line up well
Ed-
with serial killers.
Ed
Yeah, he
didn't
never
use
used
a
a gun.
Yeah, but
He used blunt force trauma
I'll be
and
honest,
your
hacksaws.
if you're morally
God.
okay with murdering someone, you are morally okay with owning a gun. Just as a general rule of thumb.
Usually.
The opposite way? Not necessarily true.
Yeah, definitely
But-
not.
Owning a gun is nowhere compared to murdering someone.
Sure. I mean, I own a gun. I've never killed a person.
Yeah, me too. As we've already very
Exactly.
clearly established.
But if you
Yeah.
killed someone, what's the worst thing you're going to do with a gun?
I don't know.
Kill someone else.
Oh, yeah, I
Oh
guess.
no.
I hadn't considered.
This got very off track.
No, it happens.
Well, I'm waiting for you guys to guess what movie we're watching.
Oh, what movie are we watching, Ben?
Oh, that's such a great question, Abby. We're watching Audition.
I've
Oh,
never
I've
heard
heard
of
the
this.
name.
I've never heard of this.
I've heard. Oh, I don't know if I've heard the name for a good reason or a bad reason.
Very funny. We're recording this using Audition as well, by the way, just so you know.
Wait, is this the
Oh,
foreign
oh.
film?
It is a foreign film.
Okay. There's.
Oh, it's foreign.
It's from like the late 90s, early 2000s, right?
Yeah, it's from 1999.
Okay, that's This is embarrassing. Do you
Yeah.
want to know why I know this movie?
Why?
Okay.
Because there's a My Chemical Romance music
There
video.
is a
that
My
is
Chemical
based
Romance
off
video.
the movie.
Is that the only
It-
reason you chose it?
No, I
Okay.
really
No,
like
but
this
that's
movie.
the only reason I fucking know the movie.
That's very funny.
Because I loved that music video, and I
Mm.
remember I would read through the comments as I would, and people were like, "Oh yeah, this is based off of, is it Japanese, right?
It's a Japanese film. This is our first
It's-
J-horror movie.
Based off of
Whoa,
a Japanese
you
horror film
son
called
of a
The Audition."
bitch. Japanese horror is horrific.
J-horror.
It's one of some of the
Great.
scariest shit I've ever like witnessed.
What have you seen?
None of it. I'm scared.
Oh, well,
Some of the
See-
scary shit I've heard about.
Based off the music video, I have maybe an idea.
not really.
Maybe,
Are there any tentacles in this movie?
probably not.
Yeah, we're watching Possession. I lied.
Yeah. Abby, we
Yeah.
almost watched a movie where someone
We did not. I wouldn't do that
I'm
to
actually
Abby.
excited about this.
Okay,
'cause-
this one's fun.
I liked the music video, and I always thought, maybe I'll watch that movie one day.
Okay,
Here we are.
can we talk about Possession for a second?
I
that a
wouldn't do that
movie?
to Abby mostly because I don't know if that would have been a comfortable experience.
Yeah. So there's this movie called Possession that
Okay.
we're going to watch eventually. At least
Are
I
we?
want to watch it
Oh.
because it seems cool.
Okay.
I mean, you've talked it up. It seems like a cool movie.
It's just weird.
Um,
There's
a- Yeah, Ben can
There's a
explain.
very graphic sex scene with a tentacle monster.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm excited for this one.
okay.
I'm not.
So the
I'm-
description.
Okay.
Abby, I'm pretty sure you know very little about this movie.
Yeah, I literally just saw a music video that's allegedly based on it, so I probably don't know shit.
All right, the description. A man arranges a fake audition to find a new wife.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the vibe I got
That's
from
the
the
vibe,
music
yeah.
video.
The length, 1 hour and 55 minutes.
Oh,
It's almost
fuck,
2
that's
hours.
long.
It's rated R. Its IMDb score is a 7.1 out of 10.
Oh, it's pretty
Oh.
okay.
Its tomato meter is an 83,
Oh, people like this
Damn.
movie.
and its
Okay.
audience score is an 80.
Well, I
That's
feel
a
like
really-
we're gonna have a better time already.
Bob, we're gonna have a great time.
It's gonna be a great time.
We're not gonna nearly throw up.
Oh, I hope not.
I think it'll be okay.
I have a stomach full of food now, and I would not like to
Oh,
throw it up
God.
on the podcast.
For awards, it has 4 wins and 5 nominations.
Oh,
Its
Damn.
wins are the International Fantasy Film Award, special mention to Takashi Miike, the Jeonju Film Festival Audience Award in 2000, again to Takashi Miike, the FPR ESCI Prize to Takashi Miike
it's a lot of
for
letters.
narrative freedom, technical mastery of the genre, and inventive of important new and prolific director.
That's a lot of shit.
Those are
and
very descriptive
a-
awards.
That one was
Yeah.
for it was a prize, like a raffle. They looked at a bunch of films, and then the K and F award to Takashi Miike, or
Damn.
Miike Takashi, because Japanese.
That's interesting.
All right, I'm excited.
You say you're excited. I'm fucking scared.
I
Because my only other Japanese horror movie I can think of is what? The Ring?
Ringu.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
ring.
The
That
Ring's the American one.
Yeah. If it's
Oh,
on.
there's The Grudge too.
Yeah, there's both of those, and I'm just like,
I don't really know the difference between the two.
What? Ring
Um,
and Grudge.
Yeah, I know what the ring's about. Don't know what the grudge is about. Don't care. Don't
similar-
wanna know.
concept, scary
Um,
woman.
Not well.
Scary
guess, but
woman
that's not-
with
that's
long
very
freaky hair.
That's very
broad.
general, yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know a ton about the movie, so I can't really explain it.
We'll leave it until we do J horror.
Yeah, when we get there.
Yeah.
Japanese
No
horror
big deal.
scares me because I know it's very good. You know what I mean?
I like it.
I am just glad because this isn't a demonic possession movie.
I don't know why you didn't pick demons.
Because why the fuck would I pick demons?
Because those movies are fun.
No, they're not. Not for me.
They're not fun for you either, Bob.
Bob, I have a
I had a good
fear
time
of
last
demons.
time. I have a
have
fear of
big
demons
fear.
too.
A big fear. I am worried that I'm going to get possessed. I have been worried about this since I was a child. I do not fuck with demons whatsoever.
I mean, I don't
dude.
either, but we haven't watched a really, really scary demonic possession movie yet.
Yeah, so knowing me, I would pick the one that is really scary.
I don't know if there are any on there that are actually that scary.
Look at the one I picked for Pseudodoc.
Well, yeah, well, that was horrific, but that wasn't a scary movie. That just ruined my night. It's very different.
I'm excited for this one. I think it's going to be good.
I'm excited too, but I'm also fucking horrified.
Yeah. What can go wrong? What
A-
can be worse?
A lot could be worse.
So, Ben, you haven't seen this movie then? Or have you?
I've seen this.
He's
movie.
seen everything
Oh,
we're gonna
okay.
watch.
Do-
He screens
You just
everything.
wanted to rewatch it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like it.
All right.
Do
I feel better.
you want me to go over people in this?
Sure.
You
Sure, it's a
won't
bunch
know
of Japanese
any of
people
them.
that I won't know.
So
Probably
let's
not,
go.
But I'm gonna read names Japanese style. So
Okay.
last name, first name. Ishibashi Ryo as Aoyama Shigeharu. He was Nakagawa in The Grudge.
Oh.
And
Movie I haven't
Grudge
seen.
2. Shina Ehi as Yamazaki Asami. She's also played Ruka in Tokyo Gore Police.
That sounds awesome.
And then Kunimura Jun as Yoshikawa Yasuhisa. And he's Boss Tanaka in Kill Bill Volume 1.
I've never seen Kill Bill.
Well, that's disappointing.
I've only seen one scene. I don't remember which Kill Bill movie it was from. But I walked in my parents' room, and there's a scene where one woman is stabbing a fucking samurai sword into another woman's eyeball.
Oh, I think that's the first one.
And I left the room. That's
Mm.
how my fear of eye things developed. was
I
that
thought we
movie.
were gonna get obliterated by eye stuff in that last movie. I thought those needles were going right in our eyes.
I'm really glad they didn't. Not that I was
Me
gonna
too.
watch,
Me
but
too.
yeah.
Ben has a fucking look on his face right now.
All right, so the director
Oh, there's
is...
fucking eye stuff in here, isn't there?
That's
No.
what I'm.
The director
Mm.
is
Mm.
Miike Takashi. He's also directed 13 Assassins, which looks super cool.
Never.
Oh
I've-
my god.
I think I've heard of it. I've heard that name. I don't know what it's about though. Probably 13 Assassins.
It's about 13 assassins. Basically, there's a feudal lord who's like a sociopath, and they have to go kill him
Oh, that's cool.
to prevent civil war. But
All right.
it looks so cool. Writers Tengen Daisuke. He also worked on 13 Assassins, so I
That's
mentioned
nice.
that. I couldn't find the budget. Could find the box office, at least for U.S. and Canada. Don't have access to the Japanese one, but for U.S. and Canada, it only made 131,296.
It's not a lot, but
it's
I mean,
not. But this
it's a
film,
Japanese film.
Yeah.
Foreign films don't usually do that well over here anyway.
yeah, and it played at a lot of like what are they called?
Small like
Film festivals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, some pretty big film festivals.
Really?
But yeah. Country of origin, Japan. Alternative titles.
Ooh.
Argos Thanatos, which is the Greek title, and that translates to slow death.
Oh.
Awesome.
I
Exciting.
looked at some Greek titles today, and they're so cool. Anjo o Demonio, which is the Portuguese title, and it means angel or demon.
This is
Okay.
The tagline for this film, which I couldn't find on the English cover, I
Mhm.
assume it's potentially on the Japanese cover, is "She always gets a part."
She always,
Ooh.
Because it's an audition.
I like that. I'm excited.
I'm not excited because I don't know what. So I don't know if you. I get anxious when I don't know what's about to happen to me.
Oh yeah, that's why I rewatch the same 3 shows all the time. No surprises.
And this show makes me especially anxious when it's a movie that I'm afraid of, but I know nothing about. If that makes sense. Like I don't
So-
know shit about this movie.
So what is it that makes you afraid?
Not knowing.
Oh, just that.
Yes.
Bob's the equivalent of "there's nothing to fear but fear itself."
I have plenty of fear to
Yeah.
go around.
You're fearing fear right now.
Yeah. Probably why I have a ghost.
Her name's Pepper.
Yeah.
I named her so Bob would accidentally talk to her when he's talking to his dog.
Yeah. That's true.
She's pretty sweet.
No, she's fucking not.
Don't be mean to Pepper.
I'm not being mean. I just don't
There's
like
a fucking ghost in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, her name's Pepper.
Her name is she doesn't have a name.
She's pretty
She's
nice.
not even a she. I don't know anything about this
But
ghost.
Bob hates her.
I don't hate her. I just would not like for her to be here.
Why the fuck would you tell me that?
I thought you knew.
Yeah, I told you before.
Yeah, but I don't remember everything that happens at work.
Bob's talked about it, where like his keys kind of flew out.
Yeah,
the
my
table.
keys just kind of be floating around sometimes. It's only happened once or twice.
It's because he was being mean, and he said, "I hate all ghosts."
I didn't say I hated all ghosts. I
Bob.
said I don't fuck with ghosts.
Yeah, basically the same thing. Anyways, you want the facts for this movie?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You've, okay.
The production company.
I'm sad.
I'm sorry.
Pepper, I don't know you, but I have nothing against you. I don't know you like that.
I don't even know you like that either, and you are here. So, Ben,
So-
this is Ben's fault, by the way. Just so you know, that's why there's a ghost here.
Thanks.
No, ghosts are chill. The production company is Omega Project. It wanted people not associated with horror to work on this project. Because of this, even though the film is sometimes attributed as being a foundational film of the J-horror genre, it does not possess a lot of cliches that are associated with it.
Interesting. That's pretty cool. That's definitely an interesting thing to know before watching it.
Yeah, like Mike is not really a horror director.
Mhm.
He's known as it now because of this movie,
Yeah.
but you know,
Did he do other horror stuff after this?
not really.
Really? That's cool.
But he does a lot. He's done like 100 films at this point.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's
That's
pretty
a lot.
prolific. He'd done, I think, 30 at the time when he did
That's-
this movie.
That's pretty cool.
So both Ichibashi Ryo and Kunimura Jun, so the
Yeah.
2 male actors I named earlier,
Mm-hmm.
were both well-known actors in Japan at the time, which allowed audiences to instantly like them. So that's kind of a
Oh, okay.
thing you guys don't really have, but
Yeah.
like I think Ishibashi was like actually a rock star for a while before he became an actor.
That's pretty
Hmm.
fucking
It's a-
cool.
They're fairly well known and liked.
Like, what's his name? Jared Leto. Except he
God,
sucks.
He sucks so bad.
He's such a bad actor.
The titular audition sequence of the film is mostly improv and apparently includes audition footage for the audition of Audition.
No fucking way.
Whoa. That's cool.
Yeah, I like that. I'm excited to see it.
And apparently, Shina Ehi was so perfect for the role of Yamazaki Asami, so much so that she intuitively knew how to play her part, and Mike would sometimes go to her to ask, like, how do you shoot this scene?
Wow.
Because she
That's
was
so
so good to it.
cool.
He also didn't talk to her at all because she was creepy, and he didn't want to
Awesome.
spoil that. That's what all I got for notes for right now. I do have notes for afterwards, but
Okay.
we'll do this later.
Before we start the movie, I do want to talk about that's such a cool thing where a director can trust their actor with a role so much that they go, "How do you think we should shoot this from the perspective of your character?"
Well, it's
Mhm.
more like
And that's so interesting.
he knew immediately her understanding of the character was more than his.
Yeah,
'Cause
which
she
is
came
so
in-
cool.
She came into the audition, and he didn't have to explain anything. She just got it.
It's really cool whenever you can see an actor pick up a part and just go, "Oh, that's perfect. Like you were meant to do this thing." You know what I mean?
Yes, but it's not always great depending on the role, because if you automatically get it, that means you understand it from experience.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
All right,
Oh no.
so- We're gonna go watch this film. Just want to let everyone know I had to spend $30 to get the streaming service to watch this because they took it off Shudder.
Yeah, but we're gonna use it anyway.
I don't know if we are, but
There are other
I
movies
did
on there
it.
that I want to watch. That we
Maybe.
both want to watch.
maybe not.
You are being. I wish you could write this off in your taxes so I don't have to hear about it.
We don't make money.
Yeah,
from
I
this,
know.
So not
All
business
right.
expense.
I guess we're gonna go watch this movie. We'll see you in a bit.
See ya.
Bye.
Fucking heart attack. My
Hi everybody.
Hey everybody, we're back from the
Motherfucker!
movie. I want to say this gets the vomit stamp of approval from Bob.
It did make me throw up. Only one specific thing. Oh, there is. Oh, that's really gross.
I
moved
haven't
the
looked
vomit
in
bucket.
there.
He was just
I'm
looking
just
at the
It's
vomit
avoiding
trash
it.
grody.
can. So, same start as last time. We're gonna start with the no spoiler stuff. So,
Yeah.
what you guys think?
I thought it was a really good movie.
It's good. I liked it. I don't have any problems with it. Just generally, like as soon as I think of it, nothing pops out at me as like an issue. It was kind of hard to follow because it was in Japanese, and I'm really bad at paying attention and reading subtitles.
Yeah,
But other than that,
you would start talking, and I'd be like, Bob, you're not reading.
subtitles. Because I was
Subtitles.
talking about the movie. Yeah.
Or I would start dozing off. And I can't read subtitles if my eyes are closed.
Yeah. Abby was falling asleep.
I think I was the only one fully paying attention.
I was paying attention. I just wasn't
Except you'd start talking, and not only would you not look at the screen, but you'd look at us.
because I'm talking to you
Yeah.
guys.
I liked it. It was just a super slow start. And
Yeah.
already being tired did not help that.
It's a slow movie for sure, but
but
I
when
don't
it
think I
picks
had a
up,
problem
it
with it.
really picks up.
yeah, it does.
It was good.
There's
I
a real
liked it.
tonal shift near the end of the movie.
It was good. It was a little freaky. But
A little freaky.
Just a little. A little
don't know.
freaky.
I don't think it was what's the word? I don't think it was very scary.
No.
Gross.
Bob, the two of you were freaking out so badly once it got bad.
It was just the one element.
Oh, but that doesn't matter.
It was just
one
the
element.
one
What
element.
matters is you freaked out.
I was not scared. I was highly, highly, highly uncomfortable.
Bob,
Yeah, I
you
was
started
just a
doing the
little
weird
disturbed.
thing where you put your hands up and you're like, I'm gonna punch her. Then you started shaking.
I know, he looked like
Not
he
because I
about
was
to fight the
scared,
air.
but I
Bob,
just-
you were horrified. You yelled so loud we could see it. And that might not sound impressive to anyone else, but the settings on the computer are really low, so the fact that we could see it very visibly.
Yeah.
I think that was when Bob and I both screamed at the same time.
That was.
It
We
was.
both looked at each other and screamed because I think she pulled out a needle that was like 3 feet long.
That is, but we were gonna say no spoilers.
Well, it's not a spoiler.
That is a spoiler.
Not really.
Not really.
Nobody knows what she did with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
She
no one
could've
knew
just
there was
been
a
giving
needle
someone-
before.
She could have just been
Oh,
giving
that's like
someone
being like, oh yeah, Cinderella had a glass slipper in the movie.
Except
It's not a spoiler.
that's a public domain thing that everyone knows. Not everyone knows this.
Whatever. Still, same
All right.
thing.
Does anyone else have any non-spoilery things?
there was a pretty funny joke about dinosaurs at some point. That was a good
Yeah.
one. That was a good bit.
This is my first foreign film.
Really? Like
Really?
ever?
Ever?
Yeah.
Really? That's surprising.
Yeah.
Well, that's a way to start.
Unless there's one that I can't think of, but I'm 99.9% sure this is my
I'm
first
trying to think
one.
if there are any really
I liked
popular foreign films that you could have just like watched in English or something. But I can't think of any that have like
No, I don't
good
think there's
ADR.
any that I would have
Not
watched.
off the top of my head.
without
Did you not
going
watch
out of my
any
way.
like of the Korean Netflix shows
No.
like Squid Game or
No.
anything?
No.
Interesting.
Well,
Those aren't films, but that's like
see,
foreign
I thought
media.
you were gonna go with like Parasite
I haven't seen
and
Parasite.
that other scary Korean movie.
Wait. Have you seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Yeah.
Because that's British. That's a foreign film.
But it's not.
Ha
It's not
Ben,
scary.
you're fired.
Got him.
You're fired.
You can't fire me in both episodes. You fired
Oh,
me
yeah, I
last
can.
week.
I can fire you in both episodes. Yeah, no, I never watched Squid Games.
Really? I didn't either. I
Some of-
watched All of Us Are Dead, which is a Korean zombie show.
Some of the children that I worked with at my internship had
Oh.
seen it.
They shouldn't be watching that.
Yeah. I was like, you're fucking 5 years old.
Yeah, but like
Why do you know about Squid Games?
the real
and I
world's
don't.
more fucked up than Netflix.
Still, those little kids shouldn't be watching
Yeah, but, like-
whatever red light, green light.
I have
don't.
no idea.
Let's
I know
put-
it's a game. Don't know
That show,
what it
from what I've
is.
heard, is quite fucked up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enough about
Mm.
Squid Games. Why don't we
Yeah.
get back to the movie?
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
It was a good
All
movie.
right.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It's very slow,
But it picks
but
up.
it picks up. And
Don't
I like
recommend
it.
watching if you're exhausted.
Yeah, watching
will
it,
fall
watching it
asleep.
tired. The beginning. I mean, I think I said multiple times. I went, Ben, when does this get scary?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're impatient.
I am impatient.
Don't be impatient.
I
It's bad.
was being impatient because the last movie we watched really kicked it off.
Oh,
It
God.
opened with the action.
It started scary. It ended scary. It never stopped being scary.
I didn't think it was very scary. I just
It was.
that movie is
Ooh.
unhinged. Feels
Yeah.
very unhinged. The last movie, the Poughkeepsie tapes.
God.
All right. Well,
Fuck that movie.
I guess
Fuck that movie.
do you want me to summarize this one?
I don't know. Yeah, sure, go for it. You can try.
All right.
I think you'll
Basically,
do a better job.
this Japanese man, Aoyama, and his friend Yoshikawa,
See, you're way better at
They're-
names than I am.
film producers. They work at like a small kind of film company. It doesn't do like big stuff, but it does small stuff. And Aoyama's son is like, "Hey, Dad, you should get remarried."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay." And so he goes to his friend, and the friend's like, "We'll set up an audition so you can kind of find your perfect woman," because he's being very picky.
He's being very picky.
And they do the audition. Aoyama becomes very, very attached to one specific girl,
Yeah.
Asami.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what ends up happening is he starts going out with her. We slowly realize there's more wrong with her. And then it all comes together in the final 15 minutes of the film,
Yep.
which are dream sequences mixed with torture scenes and a whole lot of fun stuff.
It's a lot to unpack and witness all in one go.
In fact, the last 15 minutes of this movie are regarded by a lot of people as some of the scariest 15 minutes in all of horror. So,
Really?
yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but
Not
it's
by
definitely
everyone, but
fucking
some people
freaky.
do. It goes on lists every once in a while.
It's disturbing. For
It's
sure.
disturbing. Very
I mean,
disturbing.
We already mentioned needles. There's a lot of needles being inserted in places.
Yep.
Yeah.
Abby couldn't watch it.
No, I'm terrified of needles.
I was
so bad.
struggling to keep
Bob
my
was
eyeballs
struggling.
open.
Bob
There's
threw
some,
up.
There's some vomit stuff. Bob threw up.
Yeah, I threw up.
Oh
That was
God.
gross.
Not a high bar.
I forgot that's the scene that you threw
Yeah,
up
that's
at.
what made me throw up.
Yes.
Uh,
Basically, a
foul.
tortured guy is forced to eat very milky vomit.
Yep.
Looks like she ate a bunch of flour.
Ew.
Very, very
God, that was
gross.
bad.
The only other thing I kind of want to mention at this end scene, there's a dead dog. So
Yeah.
if you don't like dead animals in movies,
It
That's
looks
your
kind
warning.
of comical though.
okay.
It looked.
It did not look
it
comical.
looked
Abby,
so fake.
It looked a little fake.
It looked
Maybe a
comically
little.
fake.
I
It did not look like a real dog.
remember what I was going to tell you guys.
What?
It was about the tongue and the fingers. and
Oh
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
What was
But
that about?
We'll get to that in a second.
Oh, okay. Way to
the
leave us
thing
on
with
a
the dog-
cliffhanger.
I'm also going to mention later because this is an adaptation. So,
Oh.
oh,
all right. So let's do the discussion of the thing with the tongue and everything.
Okay.
sure.
Because that was basically the rough summary of this movie. It's very slow. It's a lot of character building, and it's based like kind of a drama film, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a very, very good Japanese drama.
I mean, the
Yeah.
first
Up until the torture.
All right.
The first
we gotta
hour-
move this trash can.
Does it smell?
I can smell it.
Oh, God.
the first hour and 40 minutes of this movie are basically a mystery movie mixed with a romance kind of drama film.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some weird stuff in here, especially when we get closer to the end. The camera movement switch from like a steady cam to like handheld cams, and things get shaky and weird.
Yeah.
And one of the weirder things is Aoyama sees an image of a flopping tongue and some fingers and shit,
And an ear.
and blood in an ear. After he hears this guy telling him about like how someone was murdered in the basement
Mm-hmm.
of this bar, where he thinks Asami works.
It was the
And-
owner.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
owner of this bar got murdered there, and they found her mutilated, but they also found these extra body parts. And then we see like these things flopping on the ground. That is in there because that is what Aoyama's seeing in his head. And what happened is the writer, and let me look up his name really quick. Daisuke Tengen wrote that into the script, not thinking it was going to go into the movie because it's super weird. And Mike, as the director, takes things very literally if they're in the script, and so he wanted to
I
work
see.
it in, like what the character was thinking. So
Mhm.
he's just like, I'm gonna throw it in there. So
Ah.
that's why it's there.
Yeah, that was like the
That was
first thing we
jarring.
screamed at.
And I think that's a good indication that at certain parts of the movie, especially the later half, once the camera gets a little shakier, the divide between reality and what's happening in Aoyama's head
It completely total like it's a
Yeah.
very serious,
kinda
grounded
starts
movie
the
up to
the
that
mesh,
point.
yeah.
Once we hit that point, it becomes weird.
yeah. And the tip for that is when Aoyama wakes up after like sleeping with Sami for the first time.
Yep.
That's kind of the tip where things start to get weird.
Well, because he wakes up and but he doesn't even wake up. He just like throws the sheet over and then she's just gone.
yeah, she's gone.
Well, he woke up because the phone was ringing.
Yeah, he woke up because the phone was
Yeah.
ringing.
Yeah.
It's not just the next day; it's the next day, like in the afternoon. So he
Mhm.
slept for a really long time. Did you guys see that he was kind of like having trouble moving?
Yeah.
Did you get what I think that was implying?
I wasn't sure,
It-
honestly.
I think he was drugged
Yeah, that's what I assumed was he was
Oh,
drugged
okay.
before she could do the
because
other
when
thing.
he's drugged later in the
Yeah.
film,
Yeah, he reacts the same way.
well, I
Grabbing
think
his head, like
Yeah.
walking around, stumbling, not really knowing what's going on, being disoriented.
I don't think she was planning on doing anything then. I think she just wanted to slip out.
Yeah.
So she drugged him.
But then, so was the scene where he wakes up in that same hotel room and she's there,
So
just like a dream?
I
Because that
think
part threw me off.
that's either one of two things. So later in the film, what Abby's talking about is after Aoyama has been tortured, he essentially has this moment where he sees the sun, and then he flashes back to being in the hotel room and waking up in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
freaking out about being tortured.
Mm-hmm.
Except this time, like, Asami is there.
Yeah,
Yep.
except this time
Not
Asami's there,
gone.
and it's the middle of the night. And I think that's either two things. It's either A, his brain filling in kind of what happened, or it's kind of a weird fugue state memory that he's getting.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe that happened, like, before she drugged
Before
him
sh-
and slipped out.
I'd assume it would happen after he was drugged. Like if it actually
Maybe.
happened, probably after he was drugged, but before she slipped out, and the drugs just caused the memory to kind of not be there until
Maybe.
a lot of pain and needles through the eyes woke it up, or it's just his brain trying to fill stuff in
Yeah.
to cover up the pain.
I don't know. I always get so... I don't know. It's weird when movies do that, and I'm not always a fan.
Yeah,
Like, when I don't know what's reality and what's a dream or, like, imagination.
it either works well or it doesn't work at all.
I feel like it worked really well in the movie. It's just not a preference of mine.
That's
I don't think
completely
it, like,
fair.
hurt the plot or anything like that. Just not a preference.
Yeah,
I think part of the reason that it showed that, and part of the reason I think we get a lot of scenes where it's him in his mind or things that maybe necessarily aren't real, but stuff that he's making up, like the whole scene with him and where he's sitting at the table with Asami, and then you see his dead wife, his young son, and then one other woman.
Yeah, that one was weird.
That I
I think
forgot
the other
about that
woman's
scene.
the son's girlfriend.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this, and it also plays up that at some points whenever we see him, like when he's doing stuff with Asami and then it suddenly turns into his assistant who he had sex with one time, or then it transitions into his
Son's girlfriend.
son's girlfriend. Like, I think what it is showing us, and I think what it represents really, is his unwillingness to move on from his dead wife and be with this other woman, but also this idea that, like, Asami is, it's like, it's like she's a fairy tale. It's like he literally cannot believe that this could be true. So in his brain, he wants to believe it, even though she's doing these horrible, horrible things to him.
Well, he's definitely not very smart. Like
No, not at all.
he calls her up and she's just like, I was hoping that you'd call me.
Yeah. And I think that's why when he's getting tortured, he goes back to a memory that he would have preferred. And his brain goes, oh,
Yeah.
this
It
is
was-
fine.
It
He was
made me
also
feel
drugged
bad.
and probably had a concussion.
Yeah, I mean, it's just to show the delirium in which
Yeah.
he is experiencing all these things. It's because it's honestly very, very traumatic. He literally got his foot sawed off.
Halfway, got the other foot halfway sawed off.
Yeah.
And then his son got home and she had to fucking stop.
And to think this is all coming from a woman that he thought he was going to marry. right?
Yeah.
Like that is the big thing for me. Is like that is such a
like
giant
was gonna
leap.
propose to her.
Yeah,
I think he did.
So I don't know. That confused me too because she was like, "I accept your proposal."
well,
and
that
he
was a
said,
dream.
What proposal? Well, we're not sure though, because we were talking about how that might have been like
Yeah.
the
And the
in
son was talking
between or
about,
the
like,
aftermath.
When are you gonna propose?
Mm-hmm.
And they went on that vacation.
Yeah, that might be
together.
true.
Yeah, and he did say, "Oh, I'm gonna do it this weekend when we go away."
Yeah.
So that
So-
whole moment, we don't know if that was a dream or not.
And it-
That frustrates me.
It does it a couple times.
Yeah.
But I got some post-movie discussion points if you guys want to talk about those.
Sure.
Yes.
Unless you have anything else specific you want to bring up. Or just
no.
wait.
We'll just wait.
All right.
Yeah.
So, out of like the people who reviewed this movie, half the critics apparently see this movie as super misogynistic, and then the other half see this movie as being super feminist.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I noticed that early on in the movie, and I wanted to talk about it. The way these men talk about women, I'm just like, you should not say that.
So,
And it's very interesting and weird to me.
I don't know. I feel like I only really see that in his friend.
That's what I'm talking about. I can't
Because,
remember
like,
his name.
him himself, he's like, yeah, I just want a woman who, maybe has a job. She's got some skills, like hobbies, stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's not looking for, like, oh, I want a woman who knows how to cook. She's going to clean for me.
well, no, those were implied.
Stay at home
Those
wife.
were implied.
Those were implied. He
Oh,
doesn't
did
want
I
her to
not
have a
catch that
job.
part?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, those were all implied.
No, he said
No, he
she'll
wants her to
possibly
have
have a
skills.
job.
Have skills.
He said he doesn't need her to be a
Oh.
concert pianist. That's expensive and stuff. He
Oh, can we cut this part out so I don't
No,
sound
no,
like an
it's fine.
idiot?
No, it's fine. I'm wrong all the time. You're not wrong
yeah.
anyway.
So all that stuff, and I this might sound kind of bad. That's a very cultural kind of Japanese thing, especially at the
Yeah.
time period.
I was about to say, this is also from the 90s, so that helps.
Still kind of a thing. There's certain cultural things are very different from here, and basically it's a pretty good representation of kind of that very male-centric business culture that they
Yeah.
have. I mean, he describes what he wants. He's like, I wanted to be young but not too young, and beautiful but also like hardworking, and a stay-at-home mom, but like
See, I don't
not
know. It gets into
boring.
like a weird gray area. I don't know.
fair. I mean,
Nobody better come for me on this. But like also everybody does have preferences. Like if you want somebody young, that's a preference. I don't really personally anyway view it as like misogynistic. Even when he said like he wanted a woman with skills, I
Yeah.
interpreted that as like, oh, maybe she plays an instrument, maybe she does some kind of art, maybe she dances, like something like that. I took that more as like personal development and like things that she's interested in.
well,
rather
yeah,
than
I think
housewife skills.
that's what he says. It's like he wants her to have skills
Yeah,
so that she's not like boring.
yeah, that's what I meant earlier.
And I think you're right. It's a different culture, and it's also just preferences.
yeah,
I think a lot of people have the issues with the way they say it, though.
Yes. The way they
Not
say it,
necessarily the content, but the way they
the
say
way it comes off in the
Yeah.
in context
I mean,
is
they-
really, really
They see the
rough.
girls partying like across the room during
oh
that scene.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's like calling them stupid and
I think he
whatever
calls them
else.
stupid whores.
He calls them
Something
stupid
like
and
that.
awful, is what he
yeah.
says.
Yeah.
Or just like the way it's very reflected in just they're kind of describing points you describe about like an item if you're buying a new car.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
That dude kind of just sucked. I mean,
Yeah, he
did
that
kinda suck.
whole audition, we didn't even mention this part. They played it out as being an audition for a movie,
Yeah.
for like
so
a movie role, not like, hey, you're auditioning to be this dude's new wife.
Well, there was originally going to be a movie.
Well,
That was
so
the original
that's
idea.
That's the other thing I'm gonna mention here. Like Aoyama and Yoshikawa are supposed to be like likable characters. You're supposed to feel sympathetic towards them,
Really?
especially Aoyama. So when
I
things
mean-
go bad, you feel bad for him.
You do
I do
kind of
feel
feel
bad for him,
sympathetic
right?
towards him. The other dude, I could not give less of a fuck
Fair
about.
enough.
I don't even remember his name. That's
Uh,
how little I care about him.
Yoshikawa.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, but Aoyama especially because he's like, I feel bad about this.
Mm.
But they are legitimately fleecing these women.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Like, they've set up this audition and they're able to do it because they could potentially be making this movie.
Yeah.
And
Didn't really seem like it was
no, it's not going to happen.
any kind of real plan.
But it
Like,
could.
It's
And
possible.
so they can use
Could.
their company and company money and time to set
So
up this
shitty.
audition.
It's
So
so shitty.
specifically, Yoshikawa's friend, who I don't think works there, can find a girl to contact and date and marry.
Yep.
And so, I mean, obviously, do you think they're bad people?
I don't think they're bad people. I just think they make poor life choices.
I think Yoshikama is a bad dude, but Ayuama, is that how you pronounce it correctly?
Aoyama. Aoyama.
Ama. Anyway,
It got worse as time went on.
yeah, at some point he was like talking about how he felt bad about it,
Yeah.
and I don't remember like his exact line, but
He felt like I think they were lying to them,
Yeah.
and
or they were doing something illegal. I think that's his exact wording.
oh yeah, he said I feel like a criminal.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he definitely had some kind of remorse because he knew there wasn't going to be a movie. And I think that's also why, like, during the interviews, he didn't ask any questions until it came to Asami. Maybe. I don't know. You're making a face.
Yeah.
I
That's
think-
actually my next point.
I
so-
think he
You know
made a
something.
choice before the interviews that he really wasn't going to try unless it was for Asami
Mhm.
because he'd already
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to go through all the different
There were-
applicants and pick 30 that he wanted to
Yeah,
see.
there were
30.
It was 30.
no. I was saying he gave him 100 out of 1,000 applications and said pick 30.
Yeah.
So he had flipped through all of these, didn't really show any interest in someone, and then saw Asami and was like, "Oh fuck,
This one. He chose the craziest one.
the craziest bitch." And then
the wildest motherfucker.
Now-
he only asked her a question during the interview.
Yeah.
Didn't ask anyone else
It's not
any
even a
questions.
question. He kind of addresses like the whole thing about
Yeah, I guess it wasn't
Yeah.
question. He just said like statements at her. He just said things.
she in her. They had to include
Essay.
like an essay with their pictures and
Mhm.
stuff, and she writes about how when she lost her ability to do ballet, she felt like she was gonna die.
Yep.
Like that was her dealing with death, and
Mhm.
he identified with that because of his dead wife.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense.
And like his having to deal with death.
that makes a
before we
lot of sense.
kind of move on to his focus on her during the interviews, I would like to say that Yoshikawa, the dude you don't like, I think he's so blasé about like the whole interview thing
Mm-hmm.
because it's just so industry standard to do something like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, yeah, they might not actually use this movie, but they are also still just using it in general to find people.
yeah.
Because he,
Yeah.
even during some of the interviews, goes, write that down, I'll use her for something else.
Oh, I didn't catch
He's
that.
still using it as like a business
It's
thing.
still technically a business thing. They are using that. They're just also doing something separate, which is not great. But
I still think he's a dirty motherfucker.
he sucks, but
yeah, he's still smarter than
Dirty, dirty
Aoyama.
boy.
So,
that's true.
all right. So, obviously, you saw that Aoyama latched onto Yamazaki, right?
Yeah.
First time he sees her picture, and then he
Mhm.
looks at her articles, right? Her essay.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the fact that, like, he latched onto that when he realized that she was, like, damaged? Because that's what causes him to latch onto her, is he realizes, oh, this person's broken.
You're getting into a weird space.
I mean, my thought process is, like, he's an older man. Here's a little broken young woman.
Yeah,
I
that's
can
what I
take
was thinking.
advantage of that.
Not even that. I don't even know if he wants to take advantage of her. I don't know if that's his intention.
I didn't.
And I don't think it's his intention because I don't think of him as a morally bad person.
Yeah, I didn't interpret it that way.
But
either.
I would say it's more of a situation of I'm an older man, she is a younger woman. Let's say all hands off, he has good intentions. I think he's thinking she's broken, I can fix her. I have experience with people. I have a son that I raised like by myself. I am capable of helping this woman or fixing her, and she is capable of maybe fulfilling my need or want for a woman in my life.
Fair enough, but I guess that does have, like, I guess my point is it has the implicit understanding that if I fix her, she's not going to leave me.
Yep, which is fucked up.
Ooh, yeah.
That's fucked up. No, I'm
'Cause
not
if
saying
I fix her, she needs me.
they're
And
codependency.
she can't leave because he says,
Yeah.
I want to kind of take this slow so
Yeah.
I don't have to mess it up because I'm too old to mess it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely think it was just him like wanting to take care of her and
I guess, but like
trying to get her
he reads that essay
like
where
fixed
where she
in his
goes
words.
talks about how she feels like she's dead inside
Yeah.
and he's just obsessed with her.
Yeah.
Like, in
Ugh.
love with the idea of her because she's broken. And keep in mind,
It's fucking
the way
crazy.
she describes herself is the exact opposite of all the things like he listed that he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that show was weird.
Um,
I didn't think of it that way, as like him wanting to make sure that she didn't leave.
Well, yeah, his last wife left.
She died.
she died
She left?
of like cancer.
She still left.
Well, yeah, technically.
Not by her own
but
will.
not by choice. I don't know.
My point here is now this wife will also not leave by choice.
I was just wondering what you thought about the
Unless
fact-
she gets cancer.
Well, that's tragic.
Well, she
That's
gets
just
cancer
unlucky.
as well.
Like, straight up, that's just unlucky. 2 wives, both cancer. Get out of here.
double
Maybe
cancer.
it's him.
Ma-
Maybe it's his fault.
Oh, no.
All right. But I was just wondering what you thought about the fact that like he latches on to the clearly the one that has problems.
Yeah, because everybody else seemed like pretty stable.
They were normal.
And
Mostly stable, yeah.
Like the one girl, was it Asami who described herself as average? Or was it one of the other one? So I
I think it was
remember
one of the
making
other
a
ones.
comment.
The other ones, yeah.
Yeah, like they were all average,
Fairly normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
stable.
Very jarring. One of them just started getting undressed. That scared me.
Yeah. I
Also,
don't know what that
can
was
we talk about during the actual audition? They asked so many questions related to porn.
Yeah.
Yes.
So many porn-related questions.
When
Okay.
Would you be willing to do porn? Have you done porn?
So there's 2 reasons for that, right? A, some of these questions are intended to be questions like
of morality in a way.
morality, so they know if she would make good wife material, right?
that is a interesting idea.
I thought you picked up on a lot of the like. What does your dad do for a living?
I just assumed that was a normal.
Would you be
I didn't
willing
even
to
think
do
about
porn?
that.
Have you ever had sex with someone you don't like?
Yeah.
that one
That
made
one was
me
fair.
laugh.
A lot of the questions were very much.
Yeah.
Here's me asking things that are barely relevant to this job interview
But still loaded enough with intention for marriage.
that tell me, yeah, are you a good marriage prospect
Interesting.
for this man with a kid?
Did not catch that over my head.
The
Some
other
of the
part,
questions I caught on about it, then others I didn't really think
Yeah.
too much of it.
for some of that porn stuff is maybe for casting and other things.
That's fair.
Maybe.
Actually,
There is some. This came up when I was looking at stuff. Apparently, there's Japanese porn and stuff, right?
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
The guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
We don't learn
Oh.
exactly who he was.
Okay.
Starred in some porn
Oh,
at some point in
Oh.
his life,
did not know that.
but it's apparently like very specifically like this uber softcore pornography that's like only in existence in Japan. I forget the name of it,
Huh.
Interesting.
but there's like, from what I could tell hearing about it, there's like no sex and no nudity. It's like super duper.
Super softcore.
It's just like cuddling and looking in the eyes.
I guess I didn't look it up. I just heard about it.
That's so
and
interesting.
but it's still porn, so it
well,
could be
softcore.
like finding
Technically,
people,
you could just be dry humping with clothes on.
yeah,
Yeah.
it could be finding people for that
Hmm.
because one of the people mentions that something about potentially doing porn, and,
No, because he asked, do you do porn?" And she says, "No, my friend does though."
and I think that's
Yeah.
the one he goes write her down for something else.
yeah,
So
interesting.
again, on the point of Aoyama being obsessed with Asami, what do you think about the fact that so he was set on her, obviously, even before
Yeah.
the interview.
Yeah,
So the interviews, the audition
doesn't
Doesn't
fucking
matter.
matter. That was something I wanted to talk about. The fact that this movie's called The Audition, and the audition is
doesn't matter.
fucking irrelevant to the movie.
I think that's great.
It's cool, but also whack.
Well, I think that
Because I got excited for the audition, and then it happened, and it didn't mean shit.
it's a cool scene.
It's a cool scene for sure. It's
But
definitely cool.
I think the fact that it doesn't matter to the plot is what makes it cool.
I mean, it's basically like getting fucking hoodwinked. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like when we went to go watch Halloween 3 and you went, Michael Myers isn't in this movie, and I was like, you're a fucking asshole. That's what happened in this movie. I went, the audition's over, and I went, well, that was the first 30 minutes. What's happening now?
The audition matters because it doesn't matter. Because he's already decided.
Yeah.
Like, he asked none of the girls a question
Yeah, he just barely even talks.
until Asami comes out. And he doesn't even ask her a question. He just
It says things at
he
her.
says why he identifies with her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically all that's asked of her. Because she, like, leaves after that.
Yeah, he
Wow.
didn't tell her during the audition, like, hey, you got it. He called her afterwards.
Immediately.
Yeah, immediately afterwards, while she's sitting by that fucking sack.
That sack scared the shit out of
Dude.
me the first time it moved.
We haven't even talked about
We
the
haven't
sack.
even talked about the sack.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
So
dude.
basically,
that was fucking weird.
This movie's strange.
Asami lives in like this very rundown apartment, which she might have lived in as a child because some of the time she's in it, she's a child, and sometimes she's
I think
an
it is
adult.
the same place she lived as a kid.
It's very rundown, but there's a sack in the background of it.
Yep.
And
By the phone.
It moves occasionally.
but only very late after we've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Like a couple times after seeing it, it eventually moves.
I thought it
Um,
was like the first clip.
No, it
No,
is the
the
first
first-
time we see it.
The first clip, it just sits there.
I thought it. No. It shook a little when the phone rang.
Yeah. It jumped when the phone
Also,
rang.
That was the second call.
she would just fucking sit on the floor,
Oh, the
have
way
her
this
phone-
bitch contorts.
Oh, yeah.
on the floor,
It's
like
implied-
a landline phone. She would sit on the phone with her landline.
The old rotary.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah.
No fucking furniture
Yep.
that can be seen. Just her, the phone, and the sack.
It's
And that's it.
it's implied in one scene that she sits there between their date and then when the next time he calls without
That's when she
moving,
gets up.
Yeah.
which is like maybe a couple days.
Yep.
Just sitting there hunched over.
That's probably why she looks so malnourished.
That's why when
She's not eating for
He
3 days
calls.
at a time.
and she goes, "I was waiting for your call."
Yeah,
I'm so
she's like-
happy to hear from you.
She's like, fuck, I can finally eat now.
I think that's when the sack first moves,
I think so.
which is the
I don't know, I
second
thought
is
it
that
was
the
the
second
first,
phone
yeah.
call? I could remember.
I thought it was the
because they
first.
set it up with it out moving.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
See, we already knew there was going to be something in there, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Or someone.
Eventually, it's revealed it's a man with 3 missing fingers, a missing ear,
And
and
a missing tongue.
Yep.
Cool fact. You'd assume that's just like a random extra, right?
No.
Well, most people would.
I assumed it
if
was
that was an
someone.
American movie,
Who is he?
that'd be a random extra. Nah, that's some character, like some famous Japanese character actor.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's something that I just thought of. So, you know when they showed up at the bar?
Yeah.
Because he was like wanting to see if Asami worked there or
Mhm.
not.
Yeah.
The mailman or whoever it was said that it had been closed for a year
Yeah.
because of the murder.
Mm-hmm.
So she had that man in that sack in
For
her apartment for
Feeding
a
him
fucking
barf.
year.
All right. Here's my thought process there.
Here's your what's your thought process?
If he's real, we
That's
gotta
true.
establish this.
We have not established that is real because that
he's
happened
real-
in a dream sequence. He came out of the sack and ate
I
barf
like-
during a dream.
I like to think he's real.
I also think he's real. I just think that he's projecting like that. We didn't actually see
I
that.
don't know.
If
That is being
he's-
projected.
If he's real, and I think he's real,
I think he's real.
I think he's the agent she mentions having.
Yes, that makes sense.
Oh.
Because the other
Yeah.
guys,
Looked him up,
yeah,
and they were like, he hasn't worked here. He's been missing
for
for
a year and a
for
half,
like a year and a half.
which lines up
With the murder.
with that.
With the murder,
Oh shit. I didn't
my
think about that.
guess is she got him as an agent. She kind of had. We'll get into Asami's backstory. She has some weird attachment issues and stuff.
Yeah.
Just
I
a little.
assume she had kind of a romance with her previous agent. He got close to the
Owner of the
female
bar.
owner of the bar.
Yep.
So she kidnapped him, cut off his feet, threw him in a sack so he couldn't run away.
Yep.
Cut off his tongue so he couldn't scream, stuff
And
like
then
that.
killed the lady.
And then killed the lady in revenge because he
was
loved
cheating.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot to get from nothing.
It really is. Like, a lot of this movie is just having to analyze
Yeah.
and try to read between the layers.
I think that's fun.
I think it's fun too.
When it's well done, you can fit more in the background than you ever
Mhm.
could just saying
Yeah.
it.
I thought it was really funny, and this is kind of related to the bar we were just talking about. The bar is just called the Stone Fish.
Yeah.
So we cut to like Ben can read Japanese, somewhat.
bit.
Ben knows some Japanese.
I took 4 years of Japanese.
Yeah.
Not very good at it, and it's been, oh, Jesus Christ, it's been
4 years. Yeah.
5 years.
5 years?
5
Damn.
years.
So we're sitting there and we're walking. He's walking past signs that say Stone
Super
Fish.
grungy bar in the basement of this building.
And Ben just starts laughing, and me and Abby are like, "What the fuck are you laughing about?" And you're like, "Stone Fish," because it literally just says Stone Fish,
Not like
not the name Stone Fish, like a fish made of stone.
it's done in kanji, which are the Chinese characters.
Yeah.
And so it's literally stone, no, and then fish, which basically means a fish made out of stone.
Yeah, which was it was funny.
Or fish of stone. Yeah.
Because me and Abby were like, "What the fuck are you laughing at?"
It was just an
I
awkward
thought
name.
he knew something that we didn't.
That's what I thought. I thought
It
he
was
also knew
like-
something we didn't.
like something really fucked up was about to happen.
No, I
Same.
was just laughing.
In a way, we did get a little freaked out.
Yeah, it worked.
With the tongue flopping on the ground.
Because it's just a weird name for a bar.
I mean,
And
it
I thought
is.
it was really funny that
It
was
is funny, but
so literal. I think we talked about this. Do you think Aoyama should have known that, like, something was obviously wrong when Yamazaki was so receptive of his advances? Like,
no.
she very quickly kind of realized she wasn't getting the part. But he was still calling her, like, up for dates.
I think in his case, he believed what he wanted to, and
He
he
did.
wanted to believe that
But he totally should have known, right?
he should have known
That's what I'm asking.
beyond his better judgment, but he was blinded by like wanting a replacement for his wife.
Yeah, but, like, obviously as a dude, I don't see that setup and go, wow, that's romantic. She's obviously
I
gonna
mean,
love
I don't
this.
either, but he's clearly not in the right state of mind.
Yeah.
I know, but he totally... Yeah, but it's the fact that she responds positively that is the big tip-off.
I think that he was just being so optimistic. He wanted it so bad, he made himself believe that it was going well.
I mean, you're completely... Well, he made himself believe that there was nothing wrong with the
Yes,
situation.
that's what I mean.
Which is very funny because he even says, hey, I'm not going to get tricked to...
Yeah, he literally says,
Yamazaki.
"I wasn't born yesterday," and then later he goes, "I was born yesterday."
No, later his
Or-
friend Yamazaki asked him,
That's what it was.
are you really, like, so in love with this young girl that you're being tricked? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it was
very
something along
good.
those lines.
All right. Here's a kind of a fun thing.
Yeah,
So
what's
did
up?
you notice, like, when we first start to see Yamazaki, right?
Sure.
Which is Asami.
Yeah.
Did you notice that she's specifically shot almost entirely from, like, behind or the side?
I did notice that, and I
Yeah, there really aren't a lot of front shots of her.
Which is done to, like, kind of keep her expressions hidden.
there are some really creepy shots of her when we first meet her, of her like
Yeah.
standing places behind things where she should not be standing.
Which I
That was
think
weird.
is done, like, they're hiding her expression because it's not important to Aoyama or the audience. Because it doesn't matter how she feels or what she thinks.
Huh.
I beg she's a woman.
Well, in this case, yeah, she's just the woman that Aoyama wants, so he doesn't care.
Yeah. Ah, that's bring me back to misogyny.
Oh, wait. Speaking of which, we didn't talk about why people think this is a feminist movie.
Okay, can I talk about why I think it's a misogynist movie
Yeah.
first? Okay. Can we just be real right now?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
There is no explicit sex in this movie.
No.
Implied sex.
Mm-hmm.
We do get to see nipples.
We see fipples as well, female nipples. Nipples and fipples. No butts. No
No.
No,
butts.
no butts.
The
Nips
way
only.
she and he treats sex is so strange to me.
What do you mean, Bob?
He treats Asami as if like she's only can I be real? I don't think he actually like I guess this goes against what I said earlier, but maybe he doesn't give a shit about her. I think he's just mad horny. And then it gets weird and he can't handle it.
Somewhat.
I don't know, because I feel like if he was just
Right?
trying to fuck her, then it would have been way sooner. Because
So-
they had been on like, what, probably like 8,
Oh,
9 dates.
Probably a bunch.
Well, the thing is, I think she was stopping him. Because she doesn't, I mean, we talked about how weird the first time she gets naked is. She gets naked in
Yeah.
front of him, completely naked, like pulls down everything in front of him,
Also, she does it silently.
silently, facing
while-
away from him.
While he's asking, like, hey, what do you want to do for dinner?
Yeah. And then she climbs under the sheet, covers herself up, and says, "Come to me," and tells him not to take his clothes off.
That is because she's self-conscious of how she looks,
Yes.
and she wants to show him that on her terms.
That is fair. That's completely fair. And I understand that. I think his willingness to just kind of go with it is what concerns me. Because if that happened to me, I would at least be questioning it a little bit because it seems suspect.
I mean, at that point,
Outside of context, at least.
he's completely gone.
Outside of context, yeah. But she
Yes.
was also like, yeah, come to me.
Yeah.
So like,
That is a huge red
it's
flag for me. And I
weird.
think he's just so...
At that point, he should have had enough context clues that something was wrong.
Yeah.
But like you said, he was so gone. Even at the beginning. But at that point, he was madly in love.
Yeah, and I think that affects his treatment of, because I don't think at any point he really treats her like a person. Honestly, the way he talks to her feels very very dismissive of how, like you said, how she feels.
Yeah.
He
So
only wants to know what he wants to know to get his goals met, which is to bang and or marry her.
see, here's the thing. I think he's in love with the idea of her. That's why it's kind of portrayed that like how she's feeling or her thoughts don't matter.
Yeah.
That whole camera thing. With that being said, he's in love with the idea of her. He's actually fairly respectful to her, like her sexual boundaries.
Yeah.
Like
he
he
is.
doesn't necessarily want to have sex with her. He wants to take things slow and marry her, and then I guess have sex. But he's very respectful about it,
I mean, yeah.
which seems weird because we pretty much know he had sex with his
Assistant.
assistant,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who he has power over, but also may have been seeing someone
Yeah.
at the time.
And she definitely was, because, I mean, she opens up with, I think the first time we see her is, I'm getting married soon.
See, it could be that could have just been a lie though, because the way he was like, "Oh, like congratulations, who is it?" and she was just like, "You don't know him." I don't know. It seemed like
It could be either or.
Yeah.
she was sort of just saying it to make him jealous.
But then later
because
in
it was also her facial expressions.
Yeah.
that kind of got me.
later in the dream sequence, she talks about it being a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
we
she's
also-
still into him.
We
so.
also don't know how long of a period it had been.
Yeah.
That could
Yeah.
have been like 6 years previous, and she had only been, if she
Who
was actually
knows?
with someone together
Yeah.
for like 2
And
years.
she only had sex with him one time. It was
Yeah.
a one-time mistake.
Probably one time, yeah.
Because that's what she says in the thing, is it was a one-time mistake.
The only thing I want to mention again about the whole hair thing,
Mm-hmm.
or not the whole hair thing, the whole like being shot from the side and the backs,
Yeah.
does allow for the J-horror trope of like a creepy woman with long hair that covers
Mhm.
her face.
Yeah.
There's that really good shot where like the hair is covering everything except her mouth, and you see her smile when she gets the phone call.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
It's probably one of the few J-horror
Yeah.
tropes in
Okay,
here.
so why do people think it's a feminist movie? We keep
Okay,
forgetting about this.
We're back to that.
Back
uh,
to this, third time.
It was the whole thing, like she's being objectified, and then she takes charge, captures him, and then starts
Hacking him up.
hacking up the people who.
Listen, I don't think people should
Yeah,
objectify
I don't-
women, but I also don't think people should be hacked up for objectifying
No.
women.
Ah,
Because I think
I
we
don't
can
know.
solve that problem otherwise.
It's
Yeah,
kinda-
there's other things we can do.
it's the idea of I think fighting back against your oppressors and abusers,
That's completely fair.
which this is my reading of it. You know
Okay.
the dude without the feet,
Oh
Yeah.
god.
probably her stepfather,
Definitely her stepdad.
totally sexually abused her as a child.
So did anyone else see this? And I didn't want to mention during the movie. So at the end of the movie, when we're what?
I think I know where you're going with this. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
When it's like it's showing him in the wheelchair and like it's like panning. It's right. I don't know if it's before or after she cuts his head off. It must be before, or it's at some point
Or
later in the
during.
movie. Huh?
Or during.
No, it was.
She cuts his head off slowly, like it's wrapped around his neck. And they're
Yeah,
having
but it was a
conversation.
shot. No, because it was after. Because it was a dream sequence or something of him coming towards the camera. It looked like he was jerking off. Did anyone else catch that?
Oh, when he's crawling towards her. When
No, he's in the wheelchair and he's like rolling towards her, but with one hand in his pants. I caught
I
that
didn't
and didn't
catch
want to
that.
mention it
I thought
because
you
I
meant
thought
when
it
he
was
crawling
fucking
towards her to burn
weird.
her as an adult, which is super sexual because he like
Yeah,
she puts her legs apart and then he kind of looks like he's gonna go burn her.
He
Yep.
okay. So
her, as Ashley would say, her hoo ha.
the first time they showed him burning her, it looked so much further down on her leg.
Yeah.
It looked like closer to her
and
knee.
and you can see the scars later. It is further down on her leg.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then it shows the second time, and I said, where's he going with that?
Yeah,
Well,
because he
he's-
had like spread her leg out further
Oh,
and went
she's-
higher up.
She spreads her legs out by herself.
Yeah, but then he spread it further.
Well, I know, but the fact that she
Yeah.
does it by herself is very implicative of.
Ooh.
the relationship that they have.
Oh.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I didn't
Because
think
she
about
does
that.
it as a child too.
Yeah.
the
Oh, should I didn't
And the
think
first
about
time we
that.
see it,
Ugh.
we don't see the threat of like you do ballet or I burn you. She just
yeah, she just
opens her
does
legs
it.
and he crawls up in between
Fuck,
them.
I didn't think about that. That is
It's we-
disgusting.
Ugh.
Also, the fact that he was forcing her to do ballet for him is
yeah,
kind of weird. And also, the only time we see him in reality, he has a pair of like children's ballet shoes on the back of his wheelchair.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and they were dripping wet. Don't know why.
I don't want to explain that. I'm not gonna.
But yeah, so
No, like it looked like they had just been like out in rain. Like it looked like rain.
Bob, do you want to say anything?
Not
there?
rain, Abby. Not rain. Not rain. I'm not gonna.
It was very liquidy. It looked like
Mhm.
raindrops.
Well, he could have washed him off afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, ew.
Yeah.
So like they keep in good condition.
Because I knew what you were getting at, but I was like, no, different texture, different consistency.
Viscosity.
Different
Viscosity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
We're gonna
I
be
think that's
technical.
definitely the implication, though.
Or the
I
place
hope
is really
not.
leaky.
It was pretty run down, I
It
guess.
was pretty fucked up.
The ceiling could have just been dripping. Maybe it was raining outside, coming through the ceiling.
No, that guy's definitely a predator.
But yeah, I think he's definitely abused her.
That's disgusting.
For sure.
And what I will say, the way she was treated as a child,
Mhm.
because she talks about the fact that like her uncle and her aunt like also
Abused her.
abused her a lot.
Oh, I thought the uncle was abusive, but the aunt was nice. Something like that.
Kind of. I thought that's what she said, but then she mentions like her aunt pushing her downstairs.
Yeah.
Okay, I did
So
not
maybe
catch
the
that.
uncle also sexually abused her.
Maybe.
Oh.
Because if the aunt's the nice one and she pushed her downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't even notice this till the end of the film. You see her legs exposed at the end of the film because she's wearing like a skirt and then she has like knee-high socks or whatever.
Yeah.
There are scars and pin marks all over her fucking upper legs.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't notice.
everywhere. It looks rough.
I mean, yeah, she says multiple times she was abused and then I think definitely sexually abused.
Yeah.
It
And-
definitely explains her whole thing with some attachment obsessions,
Mhm.
but also specifically like, I want someone to love me and only me.
Oh my
And
god!
I
You
think
just kept
that-
repeating that.
I think that just like in the Poughkeepsie tapes, is experiencing Stockholm syndrome, but to I would say a new level.
It's not Stockholm syndrome, but it's that idea of you got fucked up from this, but you kind of still want it.
Yeah, it's this, and I think this kind of, but I think the fact that these adult, mostly male figures in her life abused her in a lot of terrible ways, she's projecting that onto him afterwards. You know what I mean? I feel
Yeah.
like it's a projection of her emotions towards those people,
Especially because she finds a man who's probably more than 2 times her age.
in probably around the
Yeah.
same age. Around the same age gap that they would have been whenever she was a kid to the older people, yeah?
I mean, she mentions the
Close,
fact
yeah.
that there's been a couple men
Yeah.
who've all taken advantage of her.
And this is her way. You know what? The feminism is coming through on that one. This
Yeah,
is
but
her way
as
of
you
taking
said-
power back.
As you said,
You're
she
talking
also
yourself into it.
she
Yeah.
also drugged this man,
Yes.
inject him with paralytics, shoved needles into his body and eyes,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
and then
don't.
started slowly chopping off his foot.
I don't really think
while
that's
giggling.
feminist.
Yes.
Oh my god! Yeah, she was enjoying the fuck
oh,
out
she
of
was
that
having
shit.
a good time.
Like,
I
Yeah.
mean, I like the whole thing where she goes, I don't know how to say it in Japanese, but she goes, deeper, 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 deeper.
Oh God.
oh my
She's
god!
Putting the
That was
needles
the worst
And
part.
then she put a bunch of needles in his stomach and then sat on him
to push them
to
further.
push them
yeah.
all the way in. But she's sawing off his foot. She's laughing.
She
She's
looks like-
giggling. And
Wait.
then she saws the foot off completely. And you know what she fucking does with it? She takes it and she chucks it behind her. Hits
Nails
the
the window.
sliding
It
glass
splats.
door. And just falls on the floor.
I think the best thing about when she's cutting off the foot, though.
What was the point of the tarp if she was going to do that?
I said this.
Why did she
The
put a tarp
tarp-
down?
It was like the sack,
has strings in the side. I think you can draw it closed like a sack.
like she did to the other guy.
so
she
can
took his
drag
foot off.
him out of there and take him back to her apartment
Yeah, but like,
once he doesn't have feet.
Yeah, because he can't run if he doesn't have
'Cause he
feet.
can't have run anymore.
yeah, but here's my thing.
It would have been like
Okay.
when the woman got murdered. There would have been these extra body parts and then the mutilated son.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, you put the tarp down. I get it's a sack.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you think she would want it to like keep the mess?
Well,
out
she
of
doesn't give a
his
fuck
home?
about
No,
the
she
mess.
doesn't care about the mess. It's just there to transport him afterwards.
I guess. I don't know.
'Cause
Just
she-
her
her
throwing
MO
the foot
is-
at the door.
Killing one person, taking their feet, and then leaving extra body
Yeah,
parts.
because assuming she killed the person at the bar
Yeah.
and did all that stuff to that man, she completely mutilated a body, left it there, and then
Yeah.
also left the body parts from the man she
Yeah,
mutilated.
it's her MO. That's why she was gonna kill the son. That's why she waited on him to come home.
Because he loved him.
Yeah, so she's gonna take him out, mutilate him,
She didn't.
sack him up.
She didn't know he was gonna come home though, because he left the voicemail and he was like, "Hey, Dad, I'm staying the night at my friend's
yeah,
house."
so she doesn't know he's coming home.
Yeah.
I do think she was eventually going to murder him,
Yes.
Yeah.
but she wasn't expecting him to come home then. That's
Yeah.
why she dies. Is because she's a
Mhm.
very... We were talking about serial killers. Last movie we watched, she's a very organized killer.
Mhm.
She's
Very
She planned
methodical.
all that stuff
Very
out.
surgical.
And so the second things go awry, that's when she fails almost
Yeah.
immediately.
I love that look on her face when she was like, "Oh fuck, he's here."
Yeah. And she has like
I got excited.
It looked like it could have been pepper spray. It also looked like it could have been an air freshener.
Yeah, I have no
I
idea
don't-
what you were
I
spraying.
don't
him
know
with.
what that was.
It might have been like
Or just,
chloroform or something, or like knockout
Maybe.
gas.
It literally had no effect
But
on him, though.
But it didn't hit him in the face. She missed.
I thought it
She
might have
couldn't
been
get close
something
enough.
to knock him out. But
That's what I
it's
thought, yeah.
Not useful for just spraying at someone, which I thought was kind of the point.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know.
Want to mention this because cool fact: the guy in this act, I
Yeah.
said he was
Guy
a
in
character
this
actor,
Mhm.
right? Which is not how that would happen in the U.S. You need a guy in a sack.
You
and
just
for
use
a
some
quick
guy.
scene, you just get a guy because you don't have to pay him. Instead, they got a real actor. Apparently, when he comes out of that sack, he's doing this Japanese style of dance. I forget the name of it because I didn't feel like writing it down. But the idea of this dance is you look like how a dead body moves. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It has
Ooh.
a
I don't think
special
I have.
name.
No, I don't know what you're talking
Traditionally, people like wear very little clothes.
about. He was wearing really little clothes.
They paint themselves like white,
oh.
and they cause their veins to pop out,
Oh.
and then they
Oh.
move like very stiff, like they have rigor mortis.
Oh. Okay. That's cool.
And he was trying to do it when he came out of the bag. That's why he looks so weird when he's coming
He
out.
looks fucking wild.
Is because he's doing that dance
That was
style.
fucking freaky.
So
that
does
makes
Asami though.
sense,
Asami must be like a contortionist or something because some of the angles that we get of where she's sitting and
Oh,
waiting
God.
for the phone to ring is unsettling.
They're normal
It is
angles.
creepy.
It's just she's very tall and very bony.
Yeah.
So apparently she was an actual model at this point. But she's one of those models where I think she's pretty, but she also looks a little odd.
It's very
It's like she's very unconventionally pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's very
She's definitely pretty. I can see her modeling.
bony and kind of angular,
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
which
not.
is partly because she's very, very skinny.
yeah,
And so I think when she does some of those pretty sharp movements, like all her her spine juts out a lot.
Oh, that was
her
the worst
shoulder
part.
blades.
it's not that she's unconventionally pretty. It's just the fact that she has like a very unconventional body type.
yeah.
Like she's super skinny, not what you would typically see on an average person.
I think she could have been an amazing
Also-
monster actor.
She's so pale too.
She is very pale.
So like all of her bones and everything else is just so much more
Okay,
prominent.
But the pale thing's like that's a cultural thing.
No, I know, but I'm saying like her being so skinny and then also pale sort of like emphasized
Yeah.
it.
Did you know she wears like white the entire movie?
yes.
Yeah.
Which purity symbol,
Yep.
but also it makes her look like a ghost,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was cool.
Like even
Because it's not a J-horror movie where it's like supernatural, which is what most J-horror is.
I thought we were gonna get a
That's-
supernatural movie
do you
with this
remember
one.
how one of the taglines was angel or demon?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
Portuguese one.
Yeah.
But that's because she seems like a really nice woman, and she's also.
Is
I know,
not-
but I feel like the white could also go along with that.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like
That's
she's
a-
wearing all white and it's like a purity thing.
Awesome.
And also he's like planning on proposing to her.
yeah,
and
you
then she
don't
fucking
see her
saws his
start doing
feet
crazy
off.
shit. Still, she is still wearing white, but is also wearing black over the white.
over the white, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Fuck.
Thing to mention while we're on the whole lack of supernatural elements in this.
Yeah, I thought I was so.
it is very
convinced.
weird though. There's some dream sequence that border, but
Yeah.
Do you remember the woman behind the tree?
Yeah,
yeah.
What do you think of that?
fucking freaky.
Do you think that was the wife, like the ex-wife, or was it someone else?
So at first
I thought it was Asami.
Yeah,
Gonna be
that's what
real.
I thought at first because we hadn't really seen a whole lot of her yet.
Yeah, I thought this was a setup shot of her
And-
stalking him.
I
Very
couldn't
Michael
tell
style.
he was
I don't
thinking
know.
of Asami, and
Yep.
then we see this. It cuts because this is before he calls her the
Mhm.
second time.
Yeah.
To actually set up.
Maybe
a
it
real
was
date.
the ex-wife because she was wearing pink.
And
She
then we-
wasn't in like Asami's
Yeah,
typical
but
white.
we see this tree and then half a woman's face. It
that was scary.
kind of looks like Asami.
I thought it was
Kind
Asami.
of looks like his wife, but it also kind of looks like someone different.
Yeah,
was
I
just
didn't
wondering
really
you
know
were
what to
thinking,
make of
whether
that.
like it's him thinking about his ex-wife, it's him thinking of Asami, it's him. Thinking
I just
of this,
assumed it was Asami actually stalking his ass.
this third like perfect girl, because he's envisioning this kind of woman in his head.
Yeah.
But you can't really see her.
See, I thought it was Asami at the time, but looking back, I definitely don't
I don't
think
think
it was.
She has a very distinct face.
She does.
I thought it was his ex-wife.
It might be. We didn't
Maybe.
really see very much of her at all,
No, I
No.
mean we
so it's
saw.
kind of hard to remember
well,
what she looked
especially
like.
not that part in the film.
Yeah.
I mean we saw when she died. We saw a picture
That's-
of her on his desk,
That's pretty much all we see of
and
her.
then the dream thing. That's
yeah,
it.
the stuff at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's in those a lot.
that's it.
There's
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was.
there's
the
a there's
ex-wife.
a lot of weird sex stuff at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
At one point, I think it's either the schoolgirl or his wife having sex with his housekeeper.
Yeah, that
the
one
stairs.
was fucking weird.
There's some weird stuff happening there. Did you not catch that one?
Yeah, I
How
caught
the
it.
fuck did I miss
Yeah,
that?
Yeah, it was
it was oral sex.
Yeah,
on the
it was
stairs.
from the back, so you could see
You
their.
could see the woman's back and then his housekeeper on the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some weird sex stuff there.
Mhm.
I don't know how I missed that because that's at the point of the movie where I actually woke up.
You woke up. It's those last
I might have just
15
been
minutes,
focusing on something else.
Those last 15 minutes are very, very.
They're fast.
There's a lot happens. There's a reason people
Yeah.
watch this film. I think the first part of this film is very good because it
is
sets
very
up
good.
that back half. Not to mention
Yeah.
it's shot well.
Yeah,
But
it's good.
Those last 15 minutes hit so hard because of that first
And I think
hour and 40.
I'm going to call this Halloween syndrome. The front half of the movie is a whole lot of setting stuff up, and then the back half of the movie is knocking all the dominoes down perfectly.
That's how you build suspense.
It's
you know?
awesome. It's good.
thought it was
I
great.
had the exact same reaction I did when I watched Halloween for the first time. I went, "This is boring. Oh shit, I like this
You
movie."
did.
See,
you were
like
going,
even with
"Where's
the
the
beginning,
horror?"
even with the beginning of this, I never thought it was boring.
No, I didn't think it was boring.
'Cause,
It's
like,
just slow, you know.
I was very much interested in it and invested. I was just like, all right, when is this picking up? Because I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this will make me fall asleep.
I
And it did a little. But
I
that's
think
okay.
you guys were kind of confused though, because it's very much a normal kind of slice of life thing.
Yeah, it is, and which was confusing
Yeah.
for me because I was like, I don't like this. I want to see some shit.
I think it's shot on purpose that way, right?
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
It's to take you off guard when it flips, right?
To lull you into a false sense of everything's normal, then it slowly reveals
false
things are
sense of
weird, and then
security.
it drops fully into
Yeah.
bizarre dreamscapes. In that line, apparently, during the date stuff, it does some weird shots. Aoyama.
Yeah.
Like where it's just his face and you can hear her talking.
Mhm.
Apparently, there was a type of like Japanese romance drama at the time that did this exact same thing.
Interesting. See,
It's- It's kind of like it'd be like the American equivalent of shooting like you're in a Hallmark movie.
I see.
Fuck Hallmark
So,
movies.
but it's made to make the film look like it's like a
Like a-
romantic drama movie
From Japan at the
from
time.
Japan.
And then
yeah.
fucking
and then
plot
it slowly
twist.
switches.
Imagine watching that movie not knowing what it was, and
Oh,
you're just
God.
Oh
like,
yeah.
you're like, oh my god, this is a sad
'Cause-
story turned romance story. I'm loving this.
So I'm gonna get into this. This is an adaptation of something.
Mhm.
So
Oh, yeah.
some people knew what it was in Japan. People
Mhm.
outside of Japan, no fucking
clue.
clue. They didn't know.
What was it an adaptation of?
Book.
Oh.
Oh, did you
okay.
finish the book? Is that where you watched it?
No.
Oh.
I didn't get to read it. If we ever do this one again, I'll read the book. but
I want to rewatch this movie because this is a dense piece that we could do a really long episode
that's why
on.
I bought it. But I got book stuff. We'll get into that. But last thing I got for my post movie notes, and I'll move into the book
Mhm.
notes I was able to find. The film apparently influenced Eli Roth when writing Hostel.
Oh, come on.
That's why I was talking to Abby about it before the filming.
Really?
Yeah, one
I
of
don't-
the really famous movies in I'm calling it the torture porn genre.
It's
I don't like calling it that. 'cause
It's
that's
not a good
kinda
name
the-
for it.
Well, that's the name used by like the anti-genre people.
I don't
like
know.
the concerned
Mhm.
moms and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a more respectful is not the word, but
More correct.
yeah. But it's a very
I mean, torture porn's very slang.
Yeah.
There's probably a more technical term we could be using.
it sets it up that it's dirty. But yeah, there's a shit ton of torture in that movie. And
Yeah.
Eli Roth apparently was inspired by this movie. I assume by the ending 15 minutes with the needles and the wire saw. Super cool.
See, I would have to see Hostel to compare, but I'm never going to watch that movie.
I like
Never
Eli
watching it.
Roth. I've seen a couple of his films.
Mm-hmm.
I've also seen some interviews and stuff with him. Super cool guy. He's kind of super nerdy about foreign horror films, and especially
Mhm.
classic horror films, and so he likes to learn from them and take inspiration. So I think he does this movie, and I believe it's called Green Hell, but that one's inspired by like Cannibal Holocaust.
Wait, is Cannibal Holocaust not in English?
It is in English. I believe it's an Italian film though.
Ah,
I
makes
thought
sense.
it was Russian.
No.
I remember my point from earlier, and it's
Oh.
kind of on brand because we're talking about foreign films.
What?
You talk about how watching this movie, there were certain things that we didn't pick up on because we're American,
Mhm.
like the whole Japanese drama thing. Like I wouldn't have known
I
that.
pick up more on that, but yeah, for
But
that
you also
I
have
didn't know.
context from the notes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like watching it fresh with no background context. I really, 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 really like when we watch foreign films on this podcast because it allows me to watch a piece of media that was not made for my viewing, for me as an American
Yeah,
audience,
specifically.
which is so fucking cool because it means when we're watching it, you, being you, Benjamin, can tell me things that I wouldn't have picked up on otherwise if you hadn't already known them. Like, it's so cool to me
Yeah.
seeing things filmed and made from a perspective that is not my own, and I just really, really enjoy it.
And
it's really cool.
I obviously don't pick up on all of them. Like,
Yeah.
I only knew the thing about that style of shooting for, like, drama stuff
Mm-hmm.
because I heard someone else talking about this movie, and they said that. Joe Bob does an episode on this.
Really, we should
Yeah.
watch that one. That'd be pretty cool.
But he mentions that, which is why I brought it up.
It's really cool. I
Um,
just really, really, I'm gaining an appreciation for foreign film that I don't think I would have gotten if we didn't do this show.
But that's the thing with foreign film. From, like, real foreign films, like ones that come from countries that aren't necessarily ingrained in the same cultural background
Mhm.
as, Americans, which is primarily, like, English,
yeah, mostly Western Europe. And
Western Europe culture. They have innately different backgrounds and histories, and so even if you learn a lot, you don't know everything, so you're gonna miss stuff.
Yeah.
That's always just a very interesting thing, because very weirdly things are shot different.
Mm-hmm.
We mentioned Possession earlier. I think that was on this episode.
Probably.
That's the
We were
weird
talking about it
tentacle
earlier.
one.
Yeah, we talked. Yeah, I brought up Possession before we.
Yeah.
I
we
mentioned
started
it to Bob because it's a very unpleasant movie. Apparently, I haven't seen it yet, but one of the things noted in it is
Mhm.
the acting. It's apparently super over the top, like to the point where we would see it and go, "That's super bad acting." But it's because there's this Polish background of stage acting, where for a while everyone was taught to act out your emotions with your entire body.
Which is what you're taught to do when you work on if you do a big stage show like that.
But-
because it's hard for the audience to see stuff from the back, but you don't need to do that for a movie.
Yeah, but the director was Polish, and he came from this background, so he told his actors to do it.
Which I think is so fucking cool.
And there's
It's
other
so
stuff like
cool.
that. Very famously, like a lot of Russian acting and stuff
Oh, I want to watch Russian horror so
is
bad.
based on
Oh God, I would be a little terrified.
some of the background of ballet and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they have that whole background of certain movements are preset to display certain emotions. Like you cower a specific way, and that shows fear.
I mean, I don't know a ton about Russian horror. The only thing I've seen is when we were scrolling through Shudder and a Russian horror film was playing
Vi?
on. Yeah, was
Oh, I
playing
really
on
want
there.
to watch Vi. I love Vi.
And I instantly was like, that looks really fucking cool. I want to watch that.
See,
I like Russian movies. I think they're super cool. All the USSR stuff.
Mhm.
It's so different.
I would
Yeah,
like
that's why
to
I like it.
watch more foreign horror, but I know they do scary a lot differently than we do.
But yeah, so
And they
Yeah.
are fucking amazing at it. It's not just like jump scares and like cheesy cheap cuts.
jump scares and stuff it's kind of a synonymous with modern American horror
Yeah.
because
I think it's just kind of cheap.
it's an executive thing where they're like, we know people like jump scares, so we're gonna put a bunch of jump scares in our
Mhm.
films because that's what people want to see. That's what gets them screaming in theaters. I don't like that. Jump scares aren't bad.
No.
They're a
No, I
tool.
think there are some good jump scares.
And I've talked about this with Bob before. Jump scares can be used very, very well. So in this movie, when the sack jumps for the first
oh
time,
my god.
Let's
Yeah,
scream.
that's good.
and that's great. But what jump scares do is they relieve tension, which is nice. Builds you up first, you get a jump scare, and then you're back down. You're like, oh, everything's okay now. And
You're like,
that's-
all right, I probably won't be scared for another
Right.
like 10, 15
And
minutes. We're good.
if you use that well,
That makes sense.
it helps you get through a film, but also can build you up to higher heights than you ever were before. But if you get a bunch in a row, where you're just down here all
Yeah.
the time.
I
Which is-
think it just needs to be well done. Like, there's so many times where I would be watching a movie and I'm like, okay, well, clearly this face is gonna come out from
yeah,
the
you
dark
can count it.
and
You can go
da-da-da.
like 3, 2,
Like,
1.
that shit's lame. But like the way they did it with the sack moving, like obviously we knew it was gonna happen at some point.
But you didn't expect it then.
Yep.
No, like you never know when it's gonna happen, and you start to wonder like, is the thing in there even alive? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it builds the tension in a really good way.
I think that's why the start of this movie is so slow, is because it allows us to build up enough fear of what could happen that when it does happen, the release is immense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
so good.
Fuck.
And-
It was.
It works. It's
it
really good.
works.
Yeah. And
Freaked me out.
specifically, you mentioned you think foreign horror is very scary. I think a lot of that is because they come from a different background of
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
film, but also culture. And so what ends up happening, at least in my opinion, is what they find scary is not what we necessarily find scary.
Yeah.
So
And
I
vice
talked to
versa, yeah.
Bob a lot about
We've
this on the
talked. We had very
podcast.
in-depth conversations.
Whenever
about
we
this.
come up with A-Deems movies, and if you listen to the podcast, I'm sure you've heard it. Like, what we find scary now is not what we found scary 80 years ago. It's because we got
Yeah.
used to it.
And even
Um,
like when you guys were talking about that on the Halloween movies, you
Oh,
were like, yeah, this isn't scary,
it's just
but
a
I can see
sick-ass
why
movie.
it would be.
Yeah.
You know, in the 70s when it came out.
Or if I hadn't been exposed to any horror movies after that,
Yeah.
yeah.
I find Halloween super scary. And I think part of the reason you find foreign films very scary is you don't have that background
Mhm.
built yet.
Yeah,
So
for
there's
sure.
there's weird things they do with cinematography or pacing that you aren't subconsciously used to yet. So it surprises you.
Mm-hmm. Like I know Parasite is supposed to be a really, really good movie.
I've heard that movie's really good.
but
I
I
like
am
that film.
terrified to watch it. There was another.
I had really, really, really bad anxiety the whole time I was watching it.
I bet.
It made me anxious.
I feel like there's another, like, recent Korean horror film.
Train to Busan.
Yes.
Yeah,
I heard
that
that
one's
one was really good too.
I wanna
So
watch
good.
it. I want to watch
I-
it so fucking bad.
We did zombie movies, right?
Yeah.
I didn't put Train to Busan on there because I'm saving it for when we do Korean horror.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's probably not like the best zombie movie ever, and it's not my favorite example of the genre.
I think I now own my
But I
favorite
think
zombie
it's probably
movie ever.
the most.
Yeah.
I really, really like it.
I've heard it's so good. I'm so excited for when we get to it.
Like it might be my current favorite, not
Yeah.
my favorite as an example of the genre, or what I think is probably the best of the best. But it's super good.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
Back on topic, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
We talked about the Eli Roth Hostel stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. I guess book comparison points are the last things I
I'm
kinda have
so
written
interested
down.
in see what
Yeah, I
how
didn't
the
know
book
it was
changes.
a book.
So, I haven't read the book. Didn't have time before this one because I don't know. I chose this movie on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
We were supposed to do this next week, but Abby was going to be in town this week, so we decided we'd go ahead and do it now.
Yeah.
The book's not that long. It was like 200 pages, but I really didn't have enough time.
That's fair. You're a busy man.
The book was written by Murakami Ryu, and he originally published it in 1997, and then it eventually received an English translation in 2009. So if you do want to read it, it's in English.
That's nice. I
Which
might
is
actually read that.
Good.
Damn, so they put the movie out 2 years after the book came out.
Yes.
It was fast.
Murakami is a pretty famous author,
Mm-hmm.
at least in Japan.
So
Is he just an
Games
author, or does he do other stuff?
fame pretty
Do you
quick.
know?
I didn't read his bio super thoroughly.
Okay.
I
I was just
believe
curious
he,
if he
he
only
was like a
did,
musician beforehand or
novels,
something.
or he did manga stuff too.
No, he's
Just
not.
curious.
He's not a manga guy, but I think he did music or something before.
Okay.
Or acting.
that would be really neat.
I was
If
wondering
he
if
did,
there was a
though.
fucking Audition manga, and I was like, I would read the fuck out of
That
that.
No,
would be
but if you
awesome.
want horror manga, there's
Into
Junji
Abyss.
Ito.
No, I know him.
Well,
and,
yeah, he's probably the most famous Japanese horror manga.
You will not
artist.
catch me reading any of his stuff. It's too
He
scary.
does body horror stuff and like stuff like that.
Not best.
He's great.
It's good writing and it's good manga.
He's-
I won't read it. 'cause
You're
it
interested-
would freak me out.
He has like they animated a bunch of his shorter mangas in a Netflix show now.
Oh, did they really? That's
Yeah.
really cool. I might watch
But
that.
you just said you can't read it.
But I might watch it. It's different.
That's probably
It's
worse.
really not.
Because it's the same sequences. And now they're animated, so they move
Yes,
at you.
but I can
There's
make
visualization.
myself watch it. I
Bob,
cannot
you won't
make
watch
myself read it.
Parasite.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that.
So this is about the same. We're getting off topic.
Different Parasite, by the way, not
All right.
the movie. The
So-
anime.
Essentially, what I've heard about the book is it's pretty different from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
A guy, Kim Newman, while writing for The Independent, compared the book and the movie and found that the film was, and I'm quoting here, suggestive about elements the book spells out bluntly. He said Miike, the director, gained a lot from the elegantly wrought source material, but the book is now in danger of seeming like a draft or even a screen treatment.
Really
Basically,
Huh.
Miike took it and changed stuff and expanded on certain things.
interesting.
But they're apparently very different, although the book is very good.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting that the person that wrote, the quote used, specifically says that. Oh God, read it to me again. I forget what it said. It was the wording.
Compared the book and the movie and found that the film was, and I'm quoting, suggestive about elements the book spells out bluntly.
So I think that is so cool, because if in the movie, if he were to do a 1-to-1 and they were to be like, all right, here's the book turned into a movie.
Yeah.
The fact that it would have been more explicit in what was real versus what was fake, and more explicit
book?
in what was if it had just been more explicit in what we were seeing, I think the movie would suffer heavily, because I think the scariest part of this movie is the fact that we don't know what we're seeing is
Oh,
real
yeah.
or
Well,
fake.
for instance, the tongue stuff, when
Yes.
he sees that's in his mind.
Yeah, we know
I
that.
assume in the book you know that.
Yeah. Which ruins it, because
In
then
this,
it's not scary.
it's kind of just there.
But
It's
yeah,
weird.
when they're in the apartment and she is vomiting into the bowl.
Yeah.
For her prisoner.
Is that a
We
dream?
don't even know if that's real.
Yeah, we don't
We
know if
don't
that's
know
real,
if
if that's a
a
dream. And if it was explicit in
Now-
telling us that.
We know that she does have a sack in her apartment
Yeah, we do.
because
We've seen it.
we see it
Well-
while she's waiting for the phone calls.
Potentially.
But, well, there is something in the sack. At
Well-
the very least, whether it's a person, an animal, laundry.
Here's where we get into some weird stuff. We follow Aoyama through basically the first half of the movie
Yeah.
and through most of it. And during that scene, we cut to her picking up the phone, right?
Mhm.
If we are truly following Aoyama's perspective, we should not be able to see what she's doing.
Interesting.
So that could also just be kind of like an imaginative take on.
And we'll never know.
Yeah.
Like, we'll never know. And
Oh,
I think
That is such a weird take to even start to dissect.
I think it's
Like
really
the sack is
interesting.
her baggage,
Oh, you just
and that her
broke
house
me.
is run down because it doesn't matter where she lives.
Well, my other thing is
Fuck.
Or she's just sitting at the phone because she tells him, "I was sitting waiting for your call."
Like-
that's so whack, Ben. That
It
you
could
just
literally-
ruined my perception of this film.
It could be so literal
Yeah.
or so abstract
But-
and like
Because you could totally take this as a take
Yeah.
on Aoyama is believing what he wants to believe. So whenever, oh, that's so weird. Because after he learns that her business contact at the record company goes missing,
Yeah.
and the fact that she used to work at that bar, and then that stuff isn't like, he hears about the murder and stuff. We see things that that could just not be true. It could just be him implying them.
Yeah.
And it's just him making it up to make himself, to believe what he believes is real.
Yep.
That's so whack.
Well, what I will say here, if you want to go down that pathway,
Because that is such a weird interpretation of this movie that I didn't even think about. That's really cool.
the first time he calls, right? What we see in the apartment is that it's run down. We see the sack, but it doesn't move.
Yep.
yeah.
We see her waiting by the phone, and we see just a phone on the floor, right?
Yeah.
We know from her interview that A, she's poor.
Yeah.
B, she has baggage, like
Mhm.
demons, which could be represented by a sack in the corner.
For sure.
She's waiting for a phone call, and that phone call's all that matters to Aoyama. Those are all the things we see in the apartment.
And those are all things
Shit.
that he could make up in his mind.
And then after
That's
he
so-
gets the call from Yoshikawa about the fact that this guy's disappearing, it's only the next time he calls her
that
we
the
see
sack moves. And then it's
Oh,
implied
fuck.
that what's inside, which we know is a dream sequence because that's not real,
Probably.
probably not real, is the dude that he thinks would be in the sack because that's the knowledge that he has about her the context of her living.
Well, yeah, but now he knows that she's a crazy person.
This is so much.
Yeah, but
This movie is so
that's
cool.
the fun of movies.
It's a good fucking movie.
where you don't have to be explicit, because in books you're writing everything, so you do
Yeah.
have to be a lot more explicit. It's hard
Mhm.
to be very vague in the
Yeah.
same way.
It is,
Um,
without making a book that isn't very interesting.
I will say, I think that's a problem a lot of horror books have, especially when
Mm.
you're adapting them, is horror tends to be a lot of psychological stuff,
Mhm.
especially horror novels. I don't know how familiar you guys are with, like, Stephen King, probably the most famous.
I bought a
Horror
Stephen
novelist.
King book. Have not read it yet.
What book is
what
it?
book is it?
Fuck, what's it? I don't remember the name, but it's like a collection of a few like short stories.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
I just haven't gotten the chance.
We've
to read
talked
it
about
yet.
doing Stephen King as his own category
That's
on the
gonna be
show
hard,
Ooh,
but
because he has a bunch.
good luck narrowing that down to 3 movies though.
Well,
I'll
that's
do
his
it.
job, not
that's
mine.
my job.
Well, yeah, obviously, but like, good luck.
But what I will say, I think he's a good example of horror writing because he's
Yeah.
probably the most famous one for English, and
He's
he's
insane.
I would
shaped
think so.
both the genre for books and for movies.
Oh yeah.
We're not going to go into him a lot here because he has a lot of weird stuff that are distinctive of his style. But if you read enough of him, you start to realize that a lot of what happens in the story is what the characters are thinking, which doesn't translate well to the screen. And I think that's a very common thing in horror.
Oh yeah.
So when it talks about the book being more explicit for this movie than the movie, I'm sure that's because a lot of things are happening in like the character, like Aoyama's head, like he's thinking things.
Yeah.
We can't really say that. I guess the last thing I have to say about the book. Wait, I have 2 things to say about the book.
Oh no.
Two
We're gonna come
things.
back to the dog.
Oh no.
Ha-ha.
Okay.
I remembered. But first of all,
Okay.
apparently the book is semi-autobiographical.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, that's not good. 'cause
allegedly-
that's fucked up.
Murakami Ryu met a woman in a similar way, and it didn't end well for him.
Does he still have his feet?
Well, not
was
like
just gonna
I think
say.
it just went poorly. Apparently, when not Mike, I think it was the writer met him to talk about this. They asked him if it was a love letter to a woman, and he was like, "Yeah."
Ooh.
Oh.
But the dog
Interesting.
thing.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Apparently, the version of the events we see in the movie are very toned down because apparently in the book, the
It's a
dog
lot
gets
more graphic.
brutally murdered or tortured, I guess, in front of Aoyama when he's like on the floor.
I'm glad we didn't see that. Because
Yeah.
I
seeing the
would've
dead dog was
cried.
enough.
So you were complaining about how it looked so fake. Why, aren't you glad you got that
Yeah,
instead of
dude.
the dog being
I would have
like
fucking cried.
That would have been awful.
dismembered?
Was it? We were just talking the other day at work. I was like, I don't do well with animal deaths.
Yeah.
I cried at All Dogs Go to Heaven, and that
That's
wasn't
true. I
really
forgot
supposed to
about
be
that.
a sad movie.
It's kind of a sad movie.
Like it's sad, but it's supposed to be like, oh, like don't worry, they all go to heaven and they play with each other, and it's supposed to be like, you know,
yeah, but
this
the ending of
sorta-
that movie's sad.
I don't fucking.
I've
remember
never
the
seen that
ending.
movie.
Really?
I mean, it made me cry as a kid
He
when I would
dies
watch it.
to save a orphan girl
Oh fuck, that is sad.
for the second time because he comes back,
Oh.
learns a valuable lesson, and then dies.
Yeah, I blocked
saving a
that out of
child.
my memory, I guess.
awesome.
Maybe that was a little
That movie's kind of all over the place,
much
but it's
trauma.
pretty good.
on top of. Yeah.
Everything else. That's all I got for my notes. So if anyone else wants to say anything,
I've got nothing
or
else
we can
to
wrap
say.
it up.
I've talked my ass off this episode. I'm done.
I just think it was. I think it was a really good movie. Ben was right that I liked it.
It's-
I was excited going into it.
I'm so
Mhm.
glad you liked it.
Once-
but because
once
of
I
My
found out
Chemical
what it
Romance, though,
because I sort of already had like a bit
Yeah.
of an idea.
that music video has some pictures.
Yeah,
that
I'm
show
probably
things kind of late.
I'm probably gonna rewatch it and see
How much?
what I notice.
You'll
Like
notice.
what's recreation, because that scene where he's getting stabbed in the tongue in his whole body,
Yeah.
I recognize that from the music video
Yeah, there's
for
some
sure.
stuff. But
Yeah, it made me feel a little bit better having a tiny
yeah, I
bit
know
of an
because you were
idea.
trying to reassure Bob, and you're like, it's in the music video. Don't worry.
It's like it's in the music video. It's not that bad.
Was the dog getting brutalized in the music video?
No,
Oh.
no, I don't.
I just watched it too, so
Yeah, we were watching it while you went to the bathroom. But yeah, no, I thought it was. I know I said it frustrates me when you can't really tell what's dream sequence and like what's real, but I think also it added a little factor. I mean,
Yeah.
it leaves so much room for the analyzation.
interpretation and analysis.
And yeah, I did like that. Like I liked hearing your ideas and being like, maybe there wasn't an actual sack. Maybe it was like metaphorical of her baggage.
I always like that when you can.
It
walk
kind of
away
mind
from
fucks me a
film.
bit, and it stresses me out. But you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
It was a good movie.
That's-
I didn't after the Poughkeepsie tapes today.
Is this the better film?
Oh
of the night?
God, this is the better film by far. Plus, this was a movie I'd already wanted to watch years ago.
That you forgot about.
So that I forgot about because I wasn't in any. Kind
Abby,
of
would you
rush.
have made it through this movie by yourself?
Well, maybe if she was
Yeah.
awake.
Okay.
If she was
Just
tired,
curious.
no.
Yeah, I would have made it by myself. I would have had to sort of guess with the needle stuff when
Because
they
you
were
would just
done
close
with
your
it.
eyes?
Yeah. Like it doesn't matter what kind of movie it is. I don't fuck with needles.
Me either.
Even when my mom would watch like hospital soap operas, if I saw needles, like I would get woozy. But yeah, this is something I would honestly watch again.
It was a good movie.
Like I genuinely really enjoyed it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank God
think-
you enjoyed it.
I think
Especially because this is the one you picked for me.
Yeah. Well, I also just picked it for me.
Okay.
You're kind of
well,
like, well,
we don't need to remember that.
I was trying to ask like
It was
what you
curated.
wanted, and you weren't like anything specific, and I was like, I wonder how fucked up I can get and still not feel bad about it. It's like, what's a good movie? And I was like, oh yeah, Audition's great, and it gets pretty
Yeah.
bad at the end.
I liked it.
But I think it's a nice introduction to J horror. If you've never seen
Oh,
Japanese
yeah.
horror,
I
Yeah.
agree.
Bob, I know you haven't.
I haven't,
Um,
but I would say this is a good
But
introduction.
it's nice because it introduces you to a lot of the stylistic elements, but not the cliches. Because most of Japanese horror is very grounded in the supernatural and yokai and stuff. So
yeah. That's
I
what I
feel
was
like it was-
expecting going in.
It was really mild.
and so it's
Very
a lot
mild.
different,
Yeah.
but that's kind of nice.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Bob, you liked it?
I get to
Yeah. No, it was really good.
leave on a good note.
That's good.
That is good.
Still gonna be terrified going to bed tonight.
You'll
who-
be fine.
Who would you recommend it to?
I think anybody who just wants to get into foreign horror, in
I feel
sort
like this
of-
is a good jumping off point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good like starter movie.
It's
if you will.
it's very like you said, mild in terms of like it's a wild
Content
movie
And
because a
gore.
lot of stuff happens.
Yeah.
But it's very mild in terms of actual like storytelling.
Yeah.
Not
It's easy
what's
to
the word I'm
follow
looking?
along.
It's palatable. It's a very palatable movie on the surface.
Maybe the way I would say it is it's not super graphic.
No.
I mean,
No.
the endings feels graphic,
It is, yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
not visually super graphic.
No, because you don't see
you
a lot
mostly
of it.
don't see it.
I mean, even like when she's cutting off that guy's head,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not. They could have made that so much more disgusting.
Like
Like
it's shot romantically.
it's just blood. Like
Which take that as you will.
there could be veins and
Yeah, but it's
blood
not
vessels.
bloody
Like,
bloody. It's
yeah.
just there's a line of blood around his throat.
yeah,
and then his head falls
same
off.
thing with the feet.
It's
You know, like it's just
Yeah.
a line of blood. It's
like
I
like
would
tension
say
buildup.
it's tasteful gore.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
for
overdone.
sure.
It's not gross for gross's sake. It's there to express for an express purpose, and it does its
Yeah.
what it's supposed
Yeah.
to do, and that's fine.
That's something I hate. Like when I mean, even TV shows. Have you watched The Boys
Yes,
on Amazon Prime?
I love The Boys.
I love that show, but so much of the gore is just to be gory.
That's my favorite part.
Like
I love watching people just get annihilated
See,
in that
that's
show.
I
that's
know,
fun
like, it's-
if that's what you want and that's what
Yeah.
it's designed around being. But if it's not, it can be jarring.
In this show, if it or in this show, in this
Sometimes-
movie, if it had been like that, it would have been cheap. It would have felt dumb. It wouldn't have made sense
Yeah.
for the tone of the movie. But for The Boys, I think it totally fits the tone of the show.
It does, but sometimes I'm like, all right, that was
Because
fucking
Butcher's always just
unnecessary.
like, fuck you, cunt.
I think her point is
just
sometimes
like,
it goes
you know.
too far.
Yeah, sometimes
Mm.
it's just unnecessary, and it feels like you could have put something meaningful there, or like metaphorical, or something that had more context
That's fair.
and added to the story.
That's completely fair.
And instead, you wanted to include like some innards.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
But
don't know, but I think they did it well.
I think for this film it's not super gory, right?
No.
Mhm.
And a lot of it's basically just a drama film.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's almost bordering the traditional elements of horror you'd associate it with. So if you're not super into horror and you're kind of into something else, you get to watch something that's almost a horror and kind of almost just a traditional foreign film.
Yeah.
So
It's like a nice mix.
I think that's a nice intro to Japanese horror.
I agree with that. I think that's a very,
Because
very
of that.
good.
It's not
good place to jump off.
Super into supernatural stuff.
Yeah.
Which you kind of have the background for.
I feel like the
Um,
storyline was also pretty easy to follow. Which,
Oh, yeah.
with it being in a different language, that's kind of exactly what you need. You don't want anything that needs too much interpretation in the dialogue itself.
Although we watched this on Screenbox and the
It was like It
translation was not
match up.
the translation was fine. You were right. The dialogue doesn't match the text all the
Yeah.
time.
There'd be times where there would be like subtitles at the bottom, but the character literally would
Hadn't
not be
said it
saying
yet?
anything.
Yeah, and you would read it before they said
It's
it.
so
Yeah.
that later stuff they would say would line up, but sometimes the first or last sentence
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird.
It's a little jarring, but I mean, I got over it.
The original version I watched was on Shudder.
Yeah.
That lined up very well, so
Mhm.
it's probably just this version.
Mhm.
I assume if you really want this film, you can buy it on Blu-ray. And I'm
Yeah.
sure it's
Probably.
doesn't have that issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're into foreign films, I'd recommend this. Any other? I'd say maybe psychological.
Yeah, psychological. If you're into psychological horror, this is definitely up there because a lot of the beginning of the movie is kind of you really don't know what's gonna happen
Yeah.
or what is going on. It's very interesting seeing the setup and then the breakdown.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you want to see a killer woman movie.
Yeah,
Yeah. You don't see a whole lot of those.
so I want to watch Rec
Well,
3.
today we saw a male serial killer
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
also a female serial killer. So
Yeah.
equality.
Yeah.
Quality.
Equality.
Yeah, that's what I'll take away from this episode.
Do you guys have any more recs?
Nah,
No.
Alright.
I don't think I have. I mean, I just think it's overall. If you want to watch a good movie,
Good,
Good
foreign
movie.
film. Good Japanese
just a
foreign
really,
film.
really, really well-made movie that I enjoy.
All right.
Yeah.
Abby,
Go ahead.
rating.
I would say, either 4 or 4.5 out of 5.
We got you.
Probably 4.
Okay.
We'll go 4 to be safe.
Why?
Like I said, they did like the dream sequence reality kind of shots really well, but that's just not
Not your
my
thing.
kind of preference.
That's completely fair.
I don't know. I felt like some of the reactions didn't really add up. Like when the son gets home and he's like, "Oh my god, Dad, what happened?" His fucking feet are cut off.
He
He's got
couldn't see the
needles
feet.
all
He could
over
just see
him.
the needles on his face.
Yeah,
That could have been a
Still-
weird sex thing.
Yeah, but
that's
either
true.
way,
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, but how much does he know about his dad's sex life to where he's coming home and he's like, hey, Dad could just be doing something freaky tonight? I don't know. I
he
feel
could
like
have
that
just been in
wouldn't be-
shock.
I mean, yeah, I would be in shock.
For us,
don't
it's a
know.
long period of time because it cuts between the kid and then dream sequences.
Yeah.
It was legitimately half a second, and then she comes out of the door behind him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just felt like some of the reactions and dialogue was
That's fine.
not really fitting.
Your review is completely.
Yeah, I
my
mean, it's your
review
opinion.
is my review.
Yeah.
I don't.
And that's that. What'd you
Robert?
think, Bob?
5.
Five.
I have
Five.
I have nothing I can complain about this movie, because my only complaint was it's slow, but then the end of the movie makes up for it.
Yeah.
There's nothing
It
in
seems
here.
slow for a reason.
Yeah, it's slow. It's slow for a reason. It's slow because it needs to be.
It's a long film, but it
It's
feels
long,
like
but
it should be
it's
that length.
Fine, honestly. I think my big thing, and I think we've kind of touched on it, is if you were to watch this movie from start to end, and you did not want to extrapolate or anything like that, and you didn't want to do any extra thinking,
You can have fun.
you can have fun. It's still a good movie. It's still enjoyable. It's easy to follow. I like the writing. I think most of the dialogue is okay. I like the dog. Gang's my favorite character in the whole
Ganga?
movie.
Yeah.
He's so cool, little guy. Just a little dog. I love him
Until he's dead.
until he gets got.
It's a
And then
I
he's
think
not
it's a
very
female
cool
beagle.
Is it?
anymore.
Is it? I don't
I have
know.
no
she had
idea.
a ton of nipples.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
I
just
did not
noticed
notice.
because she had the. I don't think she
Oh.
was spayed either.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't think about that.
Did not notice.
But also, if you don't want to do that and you want to sit down and break apart a movie piece by piece, you could totally do that with this film.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's really
Which
nice
is-
having the option.
Awesome. This is the opposite. This has had opposite Nope syndrome. Nope was like, there was something about it that just didn't mesh with my mind that I didn't like.
Yeah.
This one, I'm like, holy shit, I could like write a paper on this movie. Like, this is so cool.
All right. Fair enough.
I'm having a blast over here. I like this movie a lot.
I know. I can tell. This is the first time I think I've actually seen you smile since I've been here today.
Well, that first movie fucked me up.
And I've been here nearly 9 hours.
Yeah, it takes a
Yeah.
while to record these. Sorry.
So, oh no, I don't care. I'm just saying that's how long I've been here.
Yeah.
And this is like the first time I've seen you
Well,
genuinely happy.
It's especially funny because he vomited during this.
Yeah.
Well, but it was a
Throw
good
up during
movie.
this.
No, but most people.
Oh, but when I said it earlier, I was like, oh, this isn't that bad. And
No.
You were like, oh,
I did
I'm
not.
gonna-
Say, no. I did not. I
No,
never
Bob
said
said it was bad. He
Not-
threw up.
it
not that it
wasn't
was
that
a bad. Not that it was
Like,
a bad
just
movie.
hard to watch.
Graphically intense for my eyeballs.
oh no, I
Also-
know. I was saying
Okay.
I don't think it was that bad.
I mean, you don't get to complain that it
Graphically.
wasn't that bad because you closed your eyes for
Okay,
large
but
sequences in the
Ben-
film.
But Ben, I would do the same thing for fucking Grey's Anatomy if there were
Okay,
needles.
well, then
Doesn't
that's bad for
matter
you
what it
too.
is.
It's
No, it
subjective,
isn't.
right?
No.
Abby, you need to go watch Halloween 2.
Yeah.
Specifically, watch the scene with Dr. Mixter in it.
Why?
Dr. Mixter.
Dr.
Why? Why?
You'll enjoy it. That's why.
No, I don't think I will.
Let me do a math
I
equation for
don't
you.
think I will.
Eyeball plus needle.
Oh, Bob.
It's
Fuck
bad.
off.
It's
Why would you recommend that to me?
It's a good. It's
not that
We
bad.
should watch Halloween 2. Good movie.
That is true.
I okay, but you gotta warn me when the eyeball scene's coming up,
When,
because
when
otherwise I will throw up and not in the trash can.
when they're
Aw.
locking for Dr. Mixter.
Yeah,
when
that's
they're
all you
looking
need
for
to know.
All right.
Janet
It's-
walks
well,
into his office.
It's small. You don't really see it.
If
It's
I-
mostly off screen.
If I ever watch it,
You should. Good movie.
I will know.
I think
Yeah, no,
I'm
fuck
also
needles.
gonna give this a 5.
Yes.
Now, I want to say
Okay,
this
well,
now.
now I feel lame for giving it a 4.
That's okay.
No. Why? What? No. Your opinion's valid.
Yeah,
Totally.
Your opinion's valid.
We have guests on the show
Thanks,
because
guys, I appreciate it.
You also rate differently than we do.
like we have a
Yeah.
very different.
I tend to be
That's
pretty
true.
technical with it. You've been very like, how does this make me feel?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
perfectly valid.
I'm a very feeling person.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm gonna rate this a 5. Before I
Yeah.
do, I want to mention this. I'm gonna mention it eventually on a wrap up. This is officially, I think, gonna be my second 5.
Yeah.
For Beware the Board. I
Yeah.
rated Nope a 5.
Yeah.
That is because I forgot we're doing halves,
I forgot that you forgot.
and I would have done a 4.5.
Yeah.
So this is me
We're retroactively
Retracting
changing.
your
retroactively
Retracting
changing
it.
it.
Yeah. Changing our mind, or changing his mind.
Yeah.
I'm not changing my mind. I felt how I felt
well,
about
he
that
gave
movie.
it a 4.5 too.
Yeah.
But I'll mention that on the wrap up. But yeah, this is a 5. I mean, I think it takes the concept, which is a 3, and it does it well. And then
Yeah, I
it
did not expect this movie to go where it went, and it was super cool.
elevates that kind of beyond what the concept should be, which is a 4 for me. But then it just does enough to be perfect doing it. Like, there's extra stuff. You can go home. You can talk about it. We can tear it apart and argue about how a scene plays out.
Yeah, it's
It got,
so cool.
It got Bob to vomit,
I
which
cannot.
I was not expecting.
I
I
got
didn't expect
close
it
to
either
it.
until she started puking in a bowl and feeding it to a man. and then I could
Yeah.
not handle it.
But yeah,
It was mostly the color and the texture.
It
That
was
was messing
so
with me.
soupy.
It was so soupy, and it
was
looked
soupy.
like someone had taken like a can of like cream of chicken and thinned it out real thin.
Yeah.
Ew.
but I
It
mean,
was the needles that made me almost throw up. But you know what? I held it in.
You did good.
All right, thank
that's
you.
because you closed your eyes.
Ben,
Yes,
stop being so.
but
But
She's
the
never gonna come back and
sound-
be a
wouldn't-
guest again.
I
If you
wouldn't
don't
be
quit
mean.
shitting on her.
I wouldn't be mean except for the fact that she's like, it wasn't that scary. I closed my eyes and couldn't look, but
Ben,
it wasn't that
because
scary.
it's needles. Okay, it doesn't matter.
And I'm understanding.
I didn't.
I just am not understanding.
Dude,
of
I
you
was
saying it's
laughing
not
when
scary.
she was fucking sawing off his foot.
Well, yeah,
That's true. I was recoiling in fear, and she was laughing.
But I guess
so.
my
Yeah.
if Bob says
That
he's
was
afraid
funny.
of the ocean, and then we watch a scary ocean movie, and he goes, "It's not scary because it's the ocean, and I'm afraid of the ocean." That doesn't make sense. You're afraid of needles. That's fine, but that's just what's
It's not
scary
a
for
needle
you.
movie.
Oh,
That's what I'm
is
saying.
there a
That's
su-
not how that works. There's not a subgenre that's needle movies.
Here's what I'm saying. Yes, there was a scene that scared me.
Yeah.
But overall, it wasn't a scary movie.
Maybe not
Like you can have like a
overall, yeah.
you can have like a really happy movie,
But the
there's,
scariness
like,
in this
one little
film is very concentrated in the last 15 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is great.
But
It's like
I don't think it was
Same.
like overall super scary.
Yeah.
Creepy
Fair.
and disturbing, sure, but I wouldn't say scary. Like, oh my god, this is gonna give me nightmares. I will already have those. Do not
alright.
need that.
5 because
Yeah.
takes the concept of man meets woman and she's like a serial killer, escalates it to probably better than that concept should be,
way
adds a
better
lot of
than-
depth.
Yeah.
and then it takes that whole thing and then adds a ton of extra stuff.
Yeah.
That works and really takes it to that about as perfect as this film could possibly be.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything they could have changed that would have made me like it more.
I can see why it's a foundation for J horror.
Yeah, it
Um,
totally
Really hits
mean,
that bar that
even-
The Exorcist hit.
24 years
Oh, yeah.
later.
Yeah.
That was,
I guess we're gonna go to the outtakes now.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
we're gonna go to the
We
outtakes,
give
everybody.
our recs and our reviews. Anything else, Dad, about the film?
Oh no, hold on. One point. It's not. It's a funny.
Oh,
From the beginning of the movie. The movie opens
Uh-huh.
after the time skip of his wife has died. It's
Yeah.
7 years later, and it's him and his son fishing.
Yeah.
And my God, did I have a heart attack at the start of this
you
movie?
thought it was gonna be an ocean movie
Because I thought this motherfucker hit me with another ocean movie in a board with no oceans. And I was so fucking mad.
he's walking away with the fish, and you go, "What is that?"
I was so
I was like-
scared.
I was like, Bobby's catching a fish. Is he though? And I was like, the fish is in his hand.
I didn't know what he was going to drag
yeah,
out of the
he
water.
caught a fish. Yeah, but Bob, you were saying that after they were already walking
He was
away.
holding the fish,
I
you
don't
were
know
like,
what could have been
"That's
inside
not a
that fish.
He was holding the fish, and they're
Abby,
like,
last time in a
way
movie someone
away
caught a
from the
fish, it was full of man-eating parasites.
Yeah, they did come out of the
all
fish.
right, well, that's why I did not pick parasites.
I didn't pick parasites either. That was under a different category.
Yeah, that was under this category.
Ugh.
It's whack.
We got one
It's
more in this
fucking gross.
category.
I know it's
Ooh,
it's
are
weird
you
that
gonna,
we
are you
don't.
gonna pick it next time?
Absolutely not.
Can we finish it?
No.
That'd be cool though.
No,
Finish it
wouldn't.
before
I-
we even get to parasites.
Mm-mm.
I really can't wait to find out what number 2 on
See,
Pseudodox
you could be
is.
nice to Abby.
I could be nice to Abby.
Really
I
help
could.
her out.
I could.
Yeah, I mean, I
She
am
came
waiting
on
in
the show out of the
anticipation.
kindness of her heart, and you
I
could help her out.
Cleared room in my very busy schedule for you.
It's fair.
She could have been asleep,
Every
She could've been
weekend,
asleep.
which is actually
I
pretty
stay
valid.
at home and do nothing. That takes up a lot of time.
Except for this weekend. You
Except-
decided to do everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just crammed everything in this
Into
weekend.
one weekend instead of spreading it
Yeah.
out.
Okay.
7 hours of sleep across an entire weekend.
Awesome.
Fucking sucks.
Outtakes.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go to the outtakes, everybody.
All right.
We'll see you in a minute. Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the outtake section for this episode of Beware the Board. I hope you're enjoying our review of the audition so far. I didn't really know what to expect going into this movie, but I really, really, really enjoyed it. Without further ado, let's get into the outtakes for this episode. This first clip is my reaction to the cold open, where we see Iwama and his son fishing, and I was really, really, really scared that it was going to be another ocean movie. I'll kill you.
Why?
What is he about to pull out of this fucking water, Ben?
A fish?
That ain't no fish.
It's a fish.
Well, that's literally
Look,
a
it's in
fish.
his hand.
I don't believe it. Oh, all right, we're good.
It was in his hand.
I was scared.
Bob's afraid of fish.
No, I'm afraid of the ocean. This next outtake is a conversation that we had during the movie about dinosaurs, trains, and Pokemon.
Look, the phone.
The phone is ringing. Oh.
It's the it's the
Dinosaurs.
Dino Kid.
Bro, has this guy ever seen Jurassic Park? He'd lose his shit.
Dude, Dino Kid might be a little special.
All right, come on, man.
Dude, this kid's 15.
So maybe he's into like geography.
Maybe he just likes dinosaurs, bro.
I know, but like, there's a certain type who's this into dinosaurs.
Fuck.
No offense, I like dinosaurs, but like,
I think I prefer trains.
Trains.
It's only funny to me and you, Ben.
I don't like being left out.
I like the kid being like, she's closer to my age than yours.
Yeah. Have you proposed to her? They've been on maybe a date.
No, almost all those scenes were in different restaurants. Did you not notice that the restaurants were changing?
I'm so dumb. You're right. I don't know why I didn't put that together.
No, you're right. It's still going very quickly, but
Why is it so smoky right there in his room? That's a dumb TV show, by the way.
dude, this kid's room's really cool though.
Not as cool as mine.
Yeah, you have a dog in yours.
Yeah, I have a dog.
He literally got Bill's PC from Pokemon loaded up with dino fossils.
Yeah. Why would you make a fucking Pokemon reference like that? Like, of all the things you could have referenced in Pokemon, you meant reference the fucking PC?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Did you
I
see?
don't
Not
What's
see
the
that?
what's the timestamp on the audio over there? This next clip is our reaction to the funny name of the bar that Asami used to work at, as well as my reaction to the first sort of dreamlike sequence that we get, where we see a tongue, 3 fingers, and an ear flopping around in a puddle of blood.
The name of that bar is literally Stonefish.
So?
I-
What?
I just think it's interesting.
You motherfucker. Withholding information.
No, I'm being literal. That sign just says Stonefish.
Oh, I guess you can read Japanese, huh? Yeah, that is pretty funny.
Like-
This is the darkest, quietest bar I've ever seen.
Like it's not like a name. It literally just means a fish made out of stone.
It's pretty cool. Why does that guy sound like that? What? That was the most... Okay, now he's going to come back around. Oh, that guy actually just sounds like that. Okay, cool.
His forehead looks like he has a second mouth up there.
Yeah, kind of.
He's just got like a little dent.
It's the light, too, is reflecting off of it. His face is
It's
shiny.
basically if Piper was a human Japanese man.
The more this man learns about this woman that he's in love with is... It's bad. Ew. Ah! Ooh, what the fuck? This next clip is our reaction to the man missing 3 fingers, an ear, and a tongue, escaping from the sack and being fed barf by Asami. Torturing this man?
Well, no, it's a blowjob, Bob.
No, it's the girlfriend.
Yeah.
This sucks.
This is very confusing.
I don't think it's very confusing.
Oh, what the fuck?
Now she's just a sack. And he tripped over it. I don't know if this is confusing more as it's just fucking weird.
Well, remember he's passed out right now.
Yeah. It's all a dream or something.
Dreams and reality mixed together.
What is this, Inception? Jesus. Never seen that, but, you know, I know what it's about.
That's a dream in a dream.
Yeah.
Nah, it's safe. It's just a sack.
I would open it. Because who knows? This might not be real. It might not have. Oh my! Fuck you!
What? What the fuck is
God
in there?
Damn!
What the fuck is in there?
I don't know. About to find out.
What the fuck?
Who is that?
Oh, he's not gonna have any legs. His legs are gonna be gone.
Not his
no,
legs.
he's got legs.
Just not his
Oh!
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Is he missing fingers too?
feet. Yeah,
Oh, 3 fingers and a tongue.
Oh god.
yeah, 3 fingers.
Oh,
and a
God.
tongue.
3 fingers and a tongue.
How the fuck did he get out of the sack?
It wasn't tied very tight.
It was not tied very tight. Oh, is she puking?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, but why? Why is she puking?
Hey, Bob, it's you.
What is she holding?
That would be a doggy bowl.
The dog bowl.
Ah! Oh! Oh my god!
Oh,
3 extra feet.
an extra. Oh, she's
Oh!
gonna feed him barf. Throw up. That's so gross,
Ew.
dude. Oh,
Ah! Oh, that's disgusting.
that's really, really gross, Ben.
Oh, gross.
Watch. Yummy. It's impressive that he manages to say it without a tongue. Oh, it's a little Asami.
I threw up. That's really fucking gross.
Oh god, why is she little now?
Wow.
Ah!
Oh, he's
Ah!
back. That's real cool. Cool. This next clip is our reaction to watching Asami take a wire saw and remove her ex-ballet teacher's head.
What the fuck?
What is going on? Oh, is that garrote? Is she gonna? Oh no!
Oh!
Don't garrote
Well,
this man.
no,
Oh no!
I mean, he deserves it. Like he
Oh,
sucks.
no.
That's not a garrote.
Is that
Oh,
barbed wire?
no.
That's a wire saw.
Same
oh,
thing.
No. Oh no!
No, it is
Oh,
not.
no.
A wire saw has
Oh, no.
barbs on it for sawing through things.
Yeah, this is gonna be fucking gross.
How did he not know she was coming?
Well, I think he's submitting.
I'm pretty sure he's aware.
Oh.
Oh, she's gonna Beyblade his fucking head off. Fucking let that shit rip, baby.
Yeah.
I'm awake now.
I was awake after I threw up, but you know. Oh, god damn!
Yeah.
This is gonna be horrible,
See,
Ben.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Benjamin,
Oh!
It's okay,
the
guys.
flesh tear.
Ew!
Oh, I don't know what it is about this movie, but I could see this in any other situation and be fine. But something about this
Oh.
woman. This next clip is our reaction to finding out that Asami killed Aoyama's dog, gang. Rest in peace, my little friend.
Oh, I told you.
Come on.
That was the dumbest fucking looking dead animal I've ever seen.
Its head was on backwards.
Yeah, she ripped. I mean, she snapped its neck.
Mhm.
Why?
This next clip is our reaction to watching Asami fill Aoyama with acupuncture needles. Oh, God. Oh,
Hey, look, a needle.
Oh, it's so
Whoa!
long!
What the fuck?
Don't put that
whoa.
anywhere. Don't you dare.
You can enjoy the pain. Okay, Ben, I'm turning away. Let me know when the needle's gone.
Ashley.
No.
No, Ab.
You sound like my mom. My sister's name is Ashley.
Oh!
No!
Oh! Oh!
Just watch.
No!
Just watch.
That, no! Ah! No! Ah!
Oh wait, that
Oh.
part's in the MCR music video.
Yeah,
Oh
see,
my
it's okay.
fucking lord!
It's okay.
Abby.
Whew. It's just part of the MCR music video. It's okay.
I don't like the fact that she just put a needle through his tongue, man.
Hey, it's just like getting your tongue pierced.
I don't want that to happen either.
It didn't go all the way through. It just went partially.
Oh,
But look
that
at how
was
big the
fucking
waveforms on that are.
foul. Uh,
Oh, look.
oh, that's so many.
Acupuncture needles.
Oh, she's just giving him some nice acupuncture.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that's all
Yeah.
it is, Abby.
Yeah, that's all it is. Oh God, dude.
I hate you.
Why are you fucking putting your fists up like you're gonna fight them?
Because I'm going to fight him. Making me watch this shit.
Bob, this movie really isn't that bad. It's really not that bad.
Hey, Bob, look.
Where?
Oh!
Oh!
Oh my god.
Wait for it.
Oh, I don't like the sound.
I don't like the sound either.
Remember the noise I was making earlier?
I'm not looking. I refuse.
Abby, look.
my-
No, dude, I'll fucking throw up. I'm
It's
not looking.
nothing. It's nothing. It's
Okay. 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 We're good.
You keep saying this isn't that bad, but you keep closing your eyes and not watching it.
Because it's needles. I don't
So
fuck
it's
with
bad.
needles.
I don't either.
I think his point is you're not allowed to say it's not bad and then not watch it.
It could literally be live action Cinderella. If I see needles, I'm losing my shit.
Well, then it's bad.
This next clip is our reaction to watching Asami take a wire saw and begin removing one of Ayama's feet. Oh, she's doing the same thing she did to the other guy.
I keep
She can take his
moving.
feet off. With the wire thing again? Come on. At
I was
least
trying to see if that was like the used one or if that was a new one.
I can't tell. I think it's probably the same one. Why would you have multiple?
Well, the other
I
one,
don't know. It looks new. It's like shiny.
The other time was a dream sequence, guys.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know. That whole scene kind of confused me.
Uh-huh. You know what? Every time it pans
Ugh.
to his eyes with the needles, bro.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's
this angle
gross.
is fucking hellish.
I don't like the way she's fucking smiling at all.
She's so into this, and that does not make it makes me uncomfortable.
this.
Urgh! Oh!
For some reason that doesn't bother me.
Really?
Yeah, that doesn't. Fucking look at her. She's having the time of her life.
Oh God!
She's fucking laughing. She's smiling.
This final clip is Abby's reaction to the credits. She got really angry that the movie just ended.
Like, what the fuck? How is she like, oh, you're so warm-hearted. You tried to accept me. But that's why I fucking paralyzed you. Stabbed needles in your face.
And then sawed your foot off.
And then sawed your feet off.
And killed your dog.
And killed your dog and was going to kill your son.
Yep.
It's because I really liked you.
That's what it was.
Dude, fucking crazy bitch. Is that the end of the movie?
Yup.
That's the fucking end of the movie?
Yup.
Uh-huh.
Why?
That's it.
Well, it's resolved. She's fucking paralyzed.
What the fuck?
Yay!
All right.
It's like a banshee.
Yeah, I do too. All
No,
right.
no, no. I'm fucking pissed. Why was that the end of the movie?
Why not?
I want some results.
That was rules.
No.
That was in the movie. What else are they going to show us?
I don't know. Something more than that. Like she goes to prison.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the outtakes for this episode. They were pretty good, I think, at least.
I think we had a lot of good screams.
It
A
was,
lot of synchronized screaming.
The funniest ones were probably the ones where me and Abby both screamed at the same time because we both had the same reaction.
Oh my god.
So good.
I feel like there isn't a lot of screaming, but the screams that we do have are good.
Yeah. That's how I feel most time, honestly. Like, a lot of the recent movies we're watching haven't really been scaring me, except for, like, The Bay, which fucking mortified me. Very different.
Bob didn't like the Bay.
No, it was not a good time.
Hot take.
All right. What are we announcing,
I
man?
got an announcement. Doing a Valentine's Day movie.
Yeah. It'll come out on Valentine's Day. I don't know what the movie is, but we're going to do it.
Yeah.
That's our announcement.
That's the only announcement. Other than that, follow us on Twitter at BewareTheBoard. I post all the updates for the podcast there. Links to polls if we have them. Links to every episode. for some reason we don't announce an episode and it gets put out, it'll be linked there. Everything will be on our Twitter.
Or if you want to do something that actually matters, go check us out on YouTube, where we currently have all our stuff because we're not on Spotify.
Yeah.
Or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes.
Go on there.
We are working on it vigilantly.
Go strike the bells. Smash your like buttons. Assault it.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Don't assault anyone. That's rude.
I feel like I'm listening to 2015
pull an
YouTube.
Asami and just like inject it with needles. Just get that.
Ow.
What the fuck?
Get
the
that
heck,
view count
man?
up.
No, what is wrong
Chop
with
off
you?
its feet so it can't run away, and just keep
sadist.
smashing that button.
Oh my lord! Don't do any of the things he recommended just now.
Well, it'll help our
You'll
analytics.
Land in prison.
It's a YouTube page.
I don't know. That still
It
feels like
doesn't have feelings.
Oh.
really fucking aggressive. I feel like somebody could still file for assault.
But yeah, just that like button.
If you all have any recommendations for movies you want us to watch or you think we should review, leave them in the comments so that Ben can find them and find time for us to watch them. If you have any recommendations for the random category of the board, leave them in the comments as well. We have a new format for selecting the random. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but we'd still need your recommendations, so leave them if you have them. I think that's about wraps it up for me, Ben. I think we're done with this week's episode. This special, I mean.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, my special.
Abby's special.
Yeah, Abby is now going to be gone, so.
Not
Yeah.
forever, hopefully.
I just, I'm gonna be gone.
she's gonna dead.
No.
Oh no.
Guess we're going to introduce Supervisor. That sucks.
It's okay. I'll
That's
see
gonna
you
happen
guys
eventually.
in
Oh, Lord.
what,
Oh
like
my
21
God.
hours?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we have work.
Yeah.
That's going to
But,
be awful.
See you guys at work tomorrow and the day after that
Until
The day
next
after that.
and
time,
the day after that,
have a good week.
Have a nice Friday, everyone.
or an okay one
Or
if
an
you
okay
don't want to
one.
have a good one.
Well, I'm not going to make you make any choices you don't
I'm
want
not
to
going
make.
to force anything on anyone. So have the week you would like to have.
Bye.
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 And remember, always beware the board.